Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series Lazy Dayz 200 at Martinsville, the cutoff race for round number 2 of the playoffs. Live tonight from Martinsville Speedway, and I am joined in the booth this evening by a special guest. We've got Zach Halpern from the Virtual Racing League. You're probably used to seeing him race on Wednesdays, but he's up here in the booth with me tonight. Zach, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun having somebody else up here in the booth with me. Sometimes it gets a little bit lonely, but always good to use another set of eyes and another voice up here to keep things interesting. And tonight should be pretty interesting. The paperclip, this half-mile short track, a lot of beating and banging and close, tight racing action. What are you expecting out here tonight, Zach?
I am expecting a lot of wrecks. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it is Martinsville, and it does tend to happen. So hopefully we can keep it clean and get some good green flag runs in, but I would not be surprised if we have too many cautions.
Yes, sir. I think it usually goes one way or the other. Definitely can get pretty aggressive out here with drivers trying to make passes with only really one way around, but sometimes it can stay pretty clean and green, but we'll just have to wait and find out once that green flag flies. But before we jump into qualifying, we're going to take a look at the points coming into tonight's race. Tonight's event as well is going to be a 200 lap race, just over 100 miles. And we are going to have stage racing here tonight, lap 50, lap 100, and the finale, or the final stage coming to an end at the conclusion of the race, lap 200. Let's take a look at those points as we pull them up right now. Six-time winner this season, AJ Stravato. What else can you say other than dominant performance again for the reigning champion? 6 wins, but he is being tailed by Keith Mayato, who is slowly reeling him in as they have traded wins off of each other here in the opening 2 rounds of the playoffs. Both of them the only winners so far in the playoffs, with Keith Mayato winning last week at Indianapolis. Behind them, also locked in, the V-Speed teammates of Seth Hatchell and Ryan Gemmel in 3rd and 4th. And then a few other drivers trying to make their way into the round of 8, being Chris Samard, Eric Hutton, Safe Ferris, and Nick Gardner, all currently on the inside of the cut line. But it is pretty close right there behind Gardner. It's only a 4-point gap back to 2-time winner Mark Emerson. And then also 4 points to Dallas Sullivan, who is right there with an opportunity to make things happen tonight. Dennis Faircloth a bit farther back, but still not out of reach. And then Tony Baird's going to need a win to advance tonight, and we'll see if he can muster that up. It's going to be a tough one here at the paperclip. And
Now,
sorry about
that. When I look at these point standings, you see a lot of different situations going into this. You obviously have 4 people who are locked into the next round, so they're playing it comfortable, just going to try and get some extra playoff points. Chris Simard probably going to be taking it easy tonight also, I would imagine. He's got a 39-point gap between the cutoff, so if he just gets a good finish tonight, he'll advance. And then you have people like Tony. Like you said, if you don't win tonight, you're done. So he's going to be really aggressive tonight, looking for a win.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see if Tony can do that. We've seen him have some good performances throughout the season, but it's kind of been up and down for him. Also missing a race in this round really set him on the back foot. So a lot of work to do tonight as the drivers out on track for qualifying. Right now, Keith Mayato with the fastest time as he makes it around here for the 2nd lap, trying to improve. But you can see these guys all working that low line right by the curb. In your experience racing around here, Zach, anything that you should note, about getting around here?
For qualifying, it's all about just hooking that inside line and hoping you get the drive off without hitting the wall or getting loose. When it comes to race time, it's about keeping those brakes as cool as possible. This is a heavy braking track. You're going long straightaways right into a corner with heavy brakes. If you do not take care of those brakes and take care of your tires, you're going to be falling to the back. And we do not want to be seeing that from these drivers, and I know they don't want to be doing that. So hopefully they can take care of their stuff and get some long runs in.
Yeah, and some drivers really struggling to even get the first qualifying lap. And you saw Stravato right there on the screen, really loose on his out lap. and that is, definitely one of the best drivers here, fastest in practice, and he's struggling to get those tires up to temp here on the outlap. Yeah, and like you said, it's almost the opposite issue in qualifying, where you just got to push it as hard as you can, versus the race session. You got to be a bit more patient and consistent and not overheat those tires and brakes. That could definitely become a big problem. Right now, Keith Mayato, Nick Starling, the top two. Nick with a really good qualifying lap, a little bit unexpected as he jumps up quite a few spots from where he was in practice. But definitely some good speed to set things up here in qualifying. We've got a few more drivers on track. Let's take a look at the weather as well tonight. 70-degree air temp, 73-degree track temp. So it shouldn't be too slick. Should be plenty of grip for these guys.
Yeah, racing during the night at Martinsville always looks nicer, of course, but it helps the drivers out a lot. Get that extra grip levels. It's not going to be too hot, too slick, but from looking at these qualifying laps and a little bit of practice, it does look like they're a little loose on entry and even off. So possibly when the tires get warmed up a little bit, that goes away. We'll have to see. Maybe there'll be some side-by-side racing and we won't be able to see. We'll take a look at when the race starts.
Yeah, and I think maybe the cold tires being exaggerated with the temps as low as they are, and we're used to seeing higher temps here in the below the double yellow Cup series. They often run the track temps pretty high, so kind of puts things in the hands of the driver to try and control the race car, but that may also be the case, just a little different circumstance tonight, as we see Lyle Sulfridge making his way around, just trying to get some more practice in, I think. Now he's going to bring it down on the pit lane. But only 17 drivers with a time so far. We do see Joey Mines out on track, the number 20 Baja Blast Camaro. And with just about a minute left before they go to the drivers' meeting, not too much time for all these guys to get their laps in. And surprised to not see Chris Samard out on track just yet, but he does still have a few moments to get a lap in. Mark Emerson brings it across the start-finish line for lap number 1. He'll jump up to second, right behind Keith Mayato. Those two no strangers to each other, and they'll be right along each other on the front row, it looks like, unless somebody can knock one of them off. But yeah, tentatively thinking like the 32 and the 36 up there on that front row, so it should be interesting.
And I really don't expect Chris Samar to go out and take a qualifying lap tonight. I think starting in the back might be his best bet to play it safe and just try to get that, even probably a top 15 finish might do it for him tonight. And with how Martinsville normally is, he might be able to do that being a couple laps down. So no reason for him to push it here at the beginning and possibly start in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I'm used to seeing Chris run very well at this track, actually. I've known Chris for a long time now, and this is actually one of his best tracks. A driver from the Northeast, kind of, a short track specialist, really. So I'm a bit surprised, but also, like you said, not surprised. He doesn't have to overdo it tonight. He just needs a solid finish and enough points to advance to round 3. But that's going to bring these guys to the drivers' meeting. We're going to jump to commercial break, and we will be right back.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing, with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
We've been waiting for this moment. Generations of innovation all coming together in one place. A pedigree of more than 70 years of NASCAR Cup Series history, from the past to the present, from Petty to Earnhardt to Elliott. Today, there's no more waiting. The future of NASCAR is now. Drive the next-gen cars today on iRacing and step into the next generation of racing.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy. You ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
You can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey. Josh's flight landed early. He'll be here about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay. I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
All right, and back at the racetrack now, waiting for the qualifying session to wrap up here in just a few seconds. And we'll see what the starting grid is going to look like here tonight at Martinsville. For the Lazy Dayz 200, thank you for the subscription, Marcus Emerson. Out there on the racetrack also has time to subscribe here on the channel. Thank you so much. As we go to our starting grid, Zach, if you want, I'll go through the top 10 and we'll kind of switch back and forth every 10 or so.
Will do.
All right. Starting on the front row tonight in the Lazy Dayz 200 from Martinsville, it's going to be Keith Maiato, last week's winner, looking to go back-to-back and try and capture his 5th win of the season. Alongside him, it's going to be Mark Emerson in that number 32 machine, looking for his 3rd victory, and also looking to try and point his way in or win his way into round number 3 of the playoffs. Starting in row number 2, 3rd is going to be Nick Starling. 4th, Safe Ferris, also a driver in the playoffs, looking to get in to round 3. Josiah Vincent rolling off from 5th. Seth Hatchell, playoff driver, starting in 6th. 7th is Jeremiah Vincent. Starting in 8th, it's Eric Hutton, also a playoff driver. Dennis Faircloth in the playoffs as well, rolling off 9th. And rounding out the top 10 points leader in the number 48, AJ Stravato.
And starting in 11th, we have Nick Gardner, who is in the playoffs, so he's going to be starting in the middle, looking to keep clean. 12th, we have Dallas Sullivan, also in the playoffs, but below that cut line, so he's going to be looking to make some advances and get some points. 13th and 14th, we have Cody Atkins, and then Ryan Gemmel. 15th and 16th, we have Lane Solfridge and Joey Means. Starting 17th is Dennis Steele, and starting 18th is Nathaniel Ostrowski. 19th will be Lyle Selfridge, and 20 will be Chris Samard, who did not put down a time, and the rest of our drivers from here did not put down times. 21, Timmy Emanuel. 22, Justin Carey. 23rd, Alan Dice. 24th, Jordan Shepler. 25th, Zach Smith. 26th, Kyle M. Payne. And rounding off the field starting in 27th will be Jordan Brockel.
And that's going to do it here. 27 drivers. A little bit smaller than the normal field, but still a good sized field here tonight at Martinsville as they're getting going. A little bit of stacked up there in the mid-pack, but the field working their way onto the backstretch at this short paperclip shaped racetrack. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So excited for this one, and going to be interesting to see who moves on into round number 3 of the playoffs. It's so close at that cut line, and drivers really probably pretty nervous about surviving this race and moving on. But a couple drivers who don't have to worry about that is the race leader, pole sitter Keith Mayato, and then 10th place starter here tonight, AJ Stravato, both of them with wins in this round, advancing, moving on. And then Seth Hatchell and Ryan Gemmel as well. They're not going to have to worry about getting enough points here. They are moving on no matter what. The next 4 spots up for grabs among 8 drivers. So we'll see if anybody can squeeze their way in or maybe steal a win and lock themselves into the round of 8, working through turns 3 and 4. Pace car onto pit road. Waiting for that green flag to fly, and there it is, green flag, and we are underway from Martinsville for the Lazy Dayz 200. The field working down into turn number 1. Keith Mayato
Oh, and
with
the
a
44 again sideways.
Oh, and caution already. Yeah, Safe Ferris with an issue there. Don't see if anybody else really got into him. Looks like he's got some damage to the right rear, but caution flying straight away as they were in turns 1 and 2. Let's go take a look at what happened.
Yeah, watching it, it looks like Mark spun his tires or something on that restart, and the 44 tried to cut down underneath him and kind of just got tagged by the 4. So not an ideal start for him.
Oh yeah, tried to cut down into the low lane. Oh, and he door slams the 9 of, the 8 of Seth Hatchell. So not how Seth wanted to start tonight's race, but a good thing, as I just mentioned, he's locked in. Also, Dallas Sullivan collected a piece of that. So that's not great for Dallas, who needs as many points as he can get here tonight. Trying to find a good look at his race car. Doesn't look too bad there on the right front fender, but you never know how that could affect the handling. If he did get any kind of a hit to the suspension or something, definitely not how you want to start out the race.
No, that is not a good start to this race for a couple of those drivers. Damage is going to happen at Martinsville just because you're going to bump into each other, but you still want to try and limit it. But honestly, if I'm people like Dallas right now and I'm in the middle after seeing that, I'm just going to come down pit road and try to fix it and chill, but we don't know. Looks like he's staying out, so.
Yeah, and Seth Hatchell ended up bringing it down the pit road, so he's got that same idea. But Dallas trying to keep up there towards the top 10 with the top 10 earning stage points. Track position so crucial here at Martinsville. It can be really tough to gain spots, and especially if there's going to be cautions pretty frequently. You never really have the time to make those advances. But how about this? Nick Starling, he captured the spot from Mark Emerson, who didn't get going on the green flag very well. And now he'll be restarting to the outside of Keith Mayato. But probably a couple more pace laps here before they get going again, or rather, pace car lights are off. So we're going this time.
Always gotta love a first lap caution. You get all riled up and you're ready to go racing, and then right away there's a caution. So hopefully these drivers can keep the green this time.
Yeah, kind of, kills the mood a little bit. You're definitely right. The adrenaline gets going a little bit. You don't know how the race is going to go, and then, man, just didn't start how you wanted. But Mayato with control. There he goes. Green flag back in the air. Already back underway. Lap number 6 goes up on the board as the field tries to figure it out into turn 1. Mark Emerson right to the back bumper of the 99.
Yeah, they're getting a little stacked up at turn 1. It looked like there was a little bit of contact between one of the Sulfridges and a couple other drivers.
Yeah, we've got side by side. It looks like Lane Sulfridge going to pass up Dennis Steele. Here comes Chris Simard, already up 7 spots into the 13th position. took advantage of the caution and maybe a few drivers pitting there in front of him as they go single file now about the top 20 or so. Safe Ferris with the damage. He got sent to the back by causing the yellow. And he's got quite a bit of damage on that race car trying to work his way back forward.
Yeah, I think that first caution kind of calmed a little bit of these drivers down. Maybe not be so aggressive here at the beginning, but we still see some two wide action further back. 17th place, it looks like the 70 and 39. They're double right now, so Safe is trying to move his way back up with that damage.
Yep, Timmy Emanuele and then also Lyle Sulfridge working it out side by side, 17th, 18th position. Behind them, Zach Smith and Safe Ferris. And even behind them, the 57 of Alan Dykes, 13 of Jordan Shepard. They've figured it out for now. That's 21st and 22nd. And up in front, Keith Mayato still showing the way. Just a couple car lengths in front of Nick Starling, who's doing a great job there in that second spot.
Yeah, holding on to that lead here is going to be important. You don't want to give it up. And right now, it looks like he's got good speed, but the 99 is on his tail, so...
Yeah, and that's so important to stay with the leader and not lose that ground. You can maybe save a little bit by running behind somebody too. You can judge what they're doing and find where you can save a little bit of tire and roll to center. As the top four have kind of broken away a small amount from AJ Servato in that 5th position. But really back to 8th, Dennis Faircloth. Everybody up here in contention to race it up for top 5 positions. Nick Gardner in 9th. He is a little ways back. Dallas Sullivan still up here in the top 10 as he gets a big slide down into 3. He misses the corner, and here comes Cody Adkins going to look to the inside.
Yeah, not what Dallas wants to be doing right now. That's not going to be looking good for him if he slides those tires like that. So he's going to want to try and conserve them and not lose spots.
Yeah, as he actually held on to the position, and Cody Adkins trying to make the move, open the door for Chris Simard, who now looks to the inside. He's going to take that spot away. So Simard up to 11th position. It's a little farther back here. Safe Ferris continuing to march forward up to 17th. He's going to go to the inside of Dennis Steele and take 16th away. And now the pressure's on Joey Mines in that 15th position to try and hang out to it. And he's going to have the same thing happen. He's going to actually loop it around in 3 and 4, along with the 70 of Lyle Sulfridge. Both of them up into the outside wall. Yellow flag flies again, as we had 2 cars make the same mistake in the same corner. Right, one after another.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a typical Martinsville race tonight, boys.
Definitely a bit of wheel hop there, I think, for the 20 and the 70. As we take a look at the replay. See Joey here, that Baja Blast Camaro. In front of Safe Ferris, probably saw him coming from behind, trying to put some speed on to keep out in front, and there he goes up into the wall. A 70 just came in out of nowhere. It seemed like he just made that same mistake though. Too hot into the turn, the back comes around. Oh, and Lyle almost got into Timmy Emanuele. He just kept off of him there, but slid right into the 20 who was sitting up against the outside wall. So bit of an interesting incident there.
Yeah, not one you see too often, that's for sure. It's almost like he was just watching him and said, I really want to do that too, although I'm sure that was not his intentions.
Yeah, definitely not trying to be synchronized there. I'm sure that's the last thing they wanted. But that was basically what I experienced in my practice here the other night, just trying to feel the setup out and see what these guys would be going through. The car felt very tail happy on entry, no matter what you really did with the brake bias. So that is definitely evident right there of that wreck. And just to note, Seth Hatchell still on pit lane, 11 laps down. Again, guaranteed into the next round, but not how he wanted to end round number 2, I'm sure. Already behind the 8 ball here, and just we'll see if he stays in the race or if he takes it behind the wall completely, but he is getting significant damage repaired to that race car.
Yeah, it looks like Seth is just going to try and get it done, possibly come back out, or maybe he's just saying, hey, I'm going to relax. You guys get all this out of your system. I'm going to go have a good time, wait for the next race, and I'll be prepared and mentally ready, and you guys will be tired.
Yeah, that may be the case for sure. You know, you don't necessarily want to run out there with a slow, damaged race car. Can be kind of discouraging or disheartening to see those guys pull away from you, even on these short straightaways. So Seth getting that car fixed up, and we'll see if he makes a return. But yeah, a couple cautions already here in the opening laps, almost halfway through stage 1, which will come to an end here as they complete lap 50. So 30 to go, pace car lights still on, and no lead changes just yet. Keith Miles led the entire way. The 99 of Nick Starling still hanging on to that second spot, doing a good job. Nick was eliminated from round 1 of the playoffs after winning twice last season and making it to the championship finale. Not able to repeat that success this season. A lot of bad luck, just kind of wrong place, wrong time. And that's really become the story of his season. But was able to make it into the playoffs and just eliminated a bit early, but trying to maybe, you know, put on a good show for us here and challenge the 4-time winner in Keith Mayato. As we are about to get going again. Pace car on pit road. Mayato holds him back. There they go. A little spinning of the tires for the 99 up high, as he is going to drop right down to the inside, and he's going to get the bumper from Mark Emerson. So the 32 aggressive, as we like to note. He is one of the most aggressive guys out there, and he put that chrome horn right to use on Nick Starling as they continue to circulate around here.
Yeah, if I'm Nick, I'm getting a little annoyed with the 32. He did it 2 corners in a row. It is Martinsville, so that is going to happen, but I don't know if there is intention behind it, if he's just trying to make a move now or did it on accident.
Yeah, and Mark on the outside of the cut line, but a 2-time winner this season, so you know he's looking for a good run. He really needs every point he can get, so maybe that's what he's trying to do, is get up to that second spot. Maybe he thinks he has the pace to get up there and challenge Mayato, but so far nobody really able to do so. As Keith out in front by about 3 car lengths at this point. And we've got side by side between the 80 of Dennis Faircloth and the 6 of Ryan Gemmel. Both of these guys playoff drivers looking for some points. Getting close to that top 10. Gemmel actually taking the 10th position away. So last spot for stage points. And Ryan was one of the fastest in practice until he got kind of passed a little bit later in the practice session by a few drivers. But he was at the top of the board for the majority of the session, but not showing that speed so far early in this. And we've got a car slow out of turn number 2. That was the 71 of Lane Sulfridge, I believe.
3 wide into 1. 13's going to get the bumper. 44 up into the 13. They keep it straight. That was impressive driving to keep that one straight.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at that. Oh man, Kyle Payne just drove straight into the back of that 13 car. Yeah, definitely good job hanging on to that one. As they continue to stay green halfway through stage 1, Mayato now in front by 0.6 of a second. Trying to increase that gap as Nick Starling has pulled a good distance away from Mark Emerson, so the pressure off the 99 from the 32, and now he can focus forward on trying to catch that 36. But so far, single file among the top 15, 16 or so. We've got a car around. That's the 21 of Justin Carey down there on the inside wall on the front straightaway. And he spun it all by himself, I think. The Outlaw Desert Racing Camaro. Let's go take a look. Yeah, and the 21 just out of turn 4, loops it around in front of the 44, so I think maybe these guys are a little bit scared of that 44, knowing he's got the speed, and they're just trying to stay out of the way or something. I don't really know. It's interesting. Safe's been right there behind 2 different incidents, but really not involved in either of them.
Safe might need a new pair of underwear after that one, that's for sure. Yeah. He keeps getting very close to these wrecks tonight. Hopefully this is just a beginning of the race kind of thing and doesn't keep continuing for him.
Yeah, your luck will eventually run out if you're so close to each of these accidents. And so far it hasn't been him too hard. I mean, he was involved in that first one, and that's where all that damage came from. But so far behind 2 other spins and has been able to avoid them. So still trying to make his way forward. I think he's pit farming that race car to get damage repaired. And
one thing about Martinsville, you try to get your damage fixed and you get 5 seconds in the pit stall and then you're out again trying to get back towards the leaders. There's no time to get your damage fixed unless you get lucky and somehow have the time, but you really don't. You're either going to go a lap down and try and get some fixed, or you're going to just keep getting 5 seconds here and 5 seconds there.
Yeah, it's so difficult to get any major damage repaired with such a little amount of time. The crew's got to work fast, but you know, if you've got enough damage, it's just not enough time. You got to really bring it in over and over. And just to note, tonight they only have 5 additional sets of tires, and we haven't seen too many drivers make pit stops. It looks like just about a half dozen have been on pit road. You think anybody's going to stop here before the end of stage number 1?
No, we're under 20 laps until the end of the stage. There's no point to pitting right now. You're going to burn your stuff up just as much as you would these first 30 laps because there's been 3 cautions, I believe. So they really only have about 15 to 20 laps on those tires. No point in pitting right now. Stay out, get those points, and pit at the end of the stage.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think it'd be too late at this point, unless you were going to try and set yourself up for stage number 2. But I could see that drivers would maybe even stay out at the end of this stage, and try and run it all the way to the midpoint of the race. That's when they may make their stop if we have enough yellow flags.
Well, with the rate we're going, they're not going to have to pit, that's for sure.
Yeah. A bit messy to start, 3 cautions. No lead changes with Mayato hanging on to that top spot. But we'll see if Nick Starling, who has shown good speed here in the opening stretch, has anything to challenge the driver at the number 36. Pace car is off. You want to call this restart for us?
Yeah, let's go ahead. And here they come off. Green flag out. 36 gets a good jump. 99 falls down in second, but the 32 will get a good run to the inside. Looks like 32 will hold on to that position. Actually take it from second. AJ Stravato already up to 4th from starting further on in the back. I believe he started 11th tonight, so solid progress so far tonight as they're getting stacked up a little bit further behind.
Oh, and big wiggle there for Nick Starling right in front of AJ Stravato. Not what you want to see. Nick was doing such a good job, maybe a bit flustered by not a fantastic restart there. But yeah, AJ has made progress. He started in 10th and challenging for that 3rd position, and he's got kind of outside leverage at this point on Nick Starling. And Nick trying to stay on the inside. AJ not cutting him a lot of room. And I think AJ's going to take that spot away, so he will take over 3rd. But how about Mark Emerson challenging up here, just 1 car length behind Keith Mayato. And like I mentioned towards the top of the broadcast, these two no strangers to each other. They've had a few run-ins throughout this season. And I think Keith would probably say he owes Mark some. Maybe Mark would say he owes Keith a couple. But we'll see how that works out here with just over 10 to go to the end of this stage. You think the 32 might get up there and try and push him out of the way?
It's a possibility, that's for sure. I don't know if that's what he's going to want to do if he keeps advancing into these playoffs, making enemies, but they kind of already are enemies, so might as well just give it to him, get that position.
Yeah, you may have even seen a little bit of that over in the VRL. You know, those guys have had incidents over there too, and it's really not even like intentional. I think they just keep finding each other, and again, they found each other here, 1st and 2nd position. Now the battle for 4th and 5th with Jeremiah Vincent having a good run, a bit of nose damage, and he has reeled in Nick Starling. So the 99 and the 9 maybe setting up to do battle here before the end of the stage. Also, how about Chris Samar?
Oh, the 32 goes around right in front of the rest of the field. Is it going to stay green? No, the caution does come out.
So Mark Emerson goes from 2nd, and he'll probably be scored outside the top 10, depending on what iRacing decides to give to him. Right now showing his 14th, so his chance at stage points could have just slipped away.
Yeah, that he just blew that one. Not sure what exactly happened to the corner. It looks like what a lot of other people have been doing, just getting loose and maybe a little bit of wheel hop. If I'm him now, I'm probably just... I honestly don't know what he should do. He wants those stage points, but he's starting in 14th, and those tires are going to have some blisters on them. Maybe just come down pit road and look for the next stage.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would think. Yeah, he definitely overshot the corner. Almost appears like he was trying to set up my auto. You know, kind of went that wider entry, and you can sometimes cut down and get the real low exit to try and make a pass on somebody, but he was a little too far back and just really took it down into that corner, and the tires just said no thank you, and the car went around. But he is going to stay on the racetrack. A few drivers do bring it down. That is Safe Ferris and Lyle Sulfridge bringing it onto the pit road again. Safe still trying to pit farm that race car, and continues to get damage repaired. Safe in a fairly comfortable position coming into this race, but still definitely not safe, no pun intended, but not safe from getting knocked out of the top 8. And a little background here for you, Zach. Safe actually was a fill-in driver for the driver that originally was advancing into the playoffs. That was Kevin Cornelius, and Kevin wasn't going to be able to make most of the races. As you can see, he's not here tonight. Safe took his spot, those two being teammates, and Safe was the first driver out. So he just got into the playoffs by the skin of his teeth, and he has actually shown up very well here throughout the playoffs and up there in the top 8.
Yeah, having a 28-point buffer is pretty good, and so he has been running pretty consistently, it looks like, here in the playoffs. Got a little bit of playoff points from out the season, it looks like, also. So he just needs a consistent finish, and he should be able to advance. He's not nearly as wordy as people like Nick and Mark and Dallas.
Yeah, definitely a lot closer for those drivers. And interesting to see who's up here on the front row for this restart. It's going to be Keith Maiato and AJ Stravato. Between them, 10 wins out of the 15 races. And they're doing battle potentially for a stage win. And both of them with a mountain of playoff points. Almost surely locks into that finale, but you know, every single playoff point makes a difference.
Yes, it definitely does. And I was actually speaking to AJ before the race, and he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I'm probably just going to take it easy. I'm locked in. He's up in second, and he has a chance at a stage win. Next round starts. He needs to get this, I think, in my opinion, and get that edge over Keith.
Yeah, Keith has quite a few playoff points, but AJ, the regular season champion, that's kind of the difference really right now between them. As we are waiting for that green flag, there it is. Good restart by the 48, but big tire spin by the 99 behind them. As he is now passed up by Jeremiah Vincent for that third position. As they'll work their way through 1 and 2 off the corner. Maiato with the advantage, but here comes Stravato taking a look to the inside.
Yeah, Strava's going to need a better run than that as he runs into the back of the 36. I don't think that was intentional there, but he might do it with a couple laps remaining.
Just a few to go here at the end of stage number 1, and it is getting racy at the front of the field. Right now, Keith Maiato trying to take the stage win, and he is feeling that pressure. You can see him overshoots the corner just a little bit right there, and Stravato still within a car length and a half, and trying to force an error out of the 36, who has not made one just yet.
Yeah, Stravato's got really good mid-corner speed. He's able to roll through that corner a lot better than the 36 right now. The 9 dives it in really deep, trying to possibly gain a position also. Looks like the 48 got pretty loose off that corner. That's probably going to do it for that, and looks like the 36 will more than likely take the stage win unless if he makes a mistake.
Yeah, just 2 more to go. Maiato now with about a half-second advantage, and that's actually a quite big distance here at Martinsville. And we do have a battle inside the top 10. These two drivers, playoff drivers, on the outside looking in, and caution's going to fly. That is the 57 of Alan Dayz at the tail of the field, and that's going to end the stage. And we'll see as they get across the start-finish line this time to see what the stage results are. And then we'll go back and take a look at the caution.
I'm watching what happened. We'll talk about it here in a second after we get the stage results.
Top 10 coming in now. Keith Maiato going to win the stage, holding off AJ Strapato. Jeremiah Vincent third, Nick Starling fourth, Eric Hutton fifth, Chris Samard sixth, Josiah Vincent seventh, eighth was Nick Gardner, ninth Dennis Faircloth, and 10th Cody Adkins. Let's go take a look at the yellow flag and how we got to this.
Take a guess at what happens.
I'm going to guess a self-spin out or down into turn number 3, like we've seen a few times. But,
let's see if the replay shows that.
Let's go take a look here. Racing it up with the 71 of Lane Sulfridge. Oh, 71 overshoots the corner, gets into Allen. Allen down. Let's see here. I went back a little bit farther to kind of see how things started up. I see Safe Ferris in there behind him. Seems to be a trend tonight, and Safe probably not loving what he's seen. Oh, maybe that was attempted payback. I don't know. He really got in there deep. Trying to get back to the 71, maybe? I think he just overshot it, actually.
Yeah, I think he just overshot it and freaked out. Maybe he wasn't trying to hit the 71, freaked out, and self-spun again.
Yeah, we've seen it now, what, 3-4 times?
I think 4 times.
Yeah, Emerson, Joey Mines, Lyle Selfridge, and now Alan Dice. A little bit of wheel hop down into the corner, just pushing too hard, which is so tempting at this racetrack. You just feel like you can take on the world. You know, you're not going all that fast to start, and it's just it's flatter than you think, I think. And
no, it is.
And you just go down in there. Nope, it's not gonna stick. But we do
have some pitch strategy. It looks like Safe and Gamble stayed out. Did Mark stay out also? Did everyone else pit?
Yeah, top 3 remaining on the racetrack, but Mark, it says he brought it down 11 laps ago, so he brought it down, must have been late during one of the previous cautions. And so did Safe and Ryan. Both of them brought it down about 10 or 11 laps ago. So they're on pretty even tires. Safe, of course, with all that damage. And I think he just wants to get out front here so he doesn't have to be behind people who are going to spin. And I would agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, the only person in front of him now who can spin is the pace car, and if that happens, we got a lot of other issues going on.
Yeah. But this does shake things up. Maiato back to 4th, and we'll see if he can work his way back to the lead. Pace car lights are off. As we have completed stage number 1, it'll be a little bit shorter sprint to the end of stage 2. And it's getting darker here. The lights are on, and it is pretty dim around Martinsville right now, so track conditions are going to change a little as this race progresses.
I love the nighttime racing. The cars look so much better at night than they do during the day.
Yeah, definitely cool to see these cars under the lights as we are waiting for that green flag. Safe Ferris in control. Big spin of the tires. He's in the outside wall. And almost contact between a few others behind, and that's going to hand the lead maybe to Ryan Gemmel as he will take the spot out of turn number 2. Big mistake by the 44, adding to his damage. And now he's under pressure from Mark Emerson. Here comes Stravato with it, taking advantage of that. He's going to try and work past Keith Maiato. And oh, we've got cars spinning farther back. That's Nick Starling, Dennis Faircloth. And oh boy, Faircloth involved in this with Nick Starling. It looked like the 99 got loose and then nowhere to go for the 80 machine. Let's go take a look at what happened here.
Looks like the 4 kind of just gave him a little bump, and the 80 might have hit the inside.
Yeah, going all the way,
came up.
Going all the way back to the restart here. We can see the 80 of Dennis Faircloth down low. He got a tag from the 4 car. And then down into turn number 3. Yeah, definitely tapped there. He slips up into the 99. Nick up on the high side. Oh, and you know, I'm a bit suspicious of that one. I don't know. That looked a bit funky to me. It looked like he was fine off the corner, and then maybe they just came together. I really don't know. That's a very interesting wreck.
We'll let the admins make a decision on that one.
We'll let them
We're
make
not
the
going to
call.
put our input. Yeah. Look at the 20 slamming on the brakes. He still gets involved in it, but he was hard on those brakes when he saw that car just sitting in the middle of the track.
Yeah, let's go take a look here. The smoke can be so tough, and yeah, he was on the brakes, just could not avoid the 99 and the 41 of Nathaniel Ostrowski. How about that effort to get down to the inside of all of that and just barely rubs up against the 20 as they
Just
came
a little
to a stop.
love tap.
Yeah, good job there though. And the 70 of Lyle Sulfridge, I'm not sure how much contact he made with Dennis Faircloth. Doesn't actually look all that bad for him. The 80 slipped down the racetrack, nowhere to go. The hole just closed up, and he gave him a little shove there on the nose, but not too bad at all. And you know, seeing as how big of an incident that looked like it was gonna be, really not too bad.
Yeah, that's one thing about Martinsville. It looks like it can be a really bad wreck, but you're going pretty slow coming off the corner. You can't get stopped quick enough if you really need to. It's just the track is narrow, so you gotta hope that no one else behind you doesn't hit the brakes.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Looking in the mirror and seeing somebody coming at you at, you know, 90 miles an hour, unaware of what's happening. But these guys are pretty good at that. Overall, I'd say we don't see a lot of that, you know, happening.
ARCA brakes.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of the ARCA braking here. Occasionally, you know, and with the smoke dynamics the way they are now in iRacing, it's almost more justified sometimes. You really can't see anything in some of these crashes. But
that smoke is terrible sometimes. Talladega, when there's like an A-kart wreck and you're just trying to chill, you can't see a thing. And I'm sure here at Martinsville, with how small it is, you can't see a thing also. That smoke is so realistic. iRacing did a really good job with it.
Yeah, it's definitely harder to drive through. So, you know, maybe some fans and some people not fans of that, but you can't argue that it's definitely very realistic, and really changes you know, how you drive through a wreck or try to drive through a wreck. Before we go green here, do want to give a big shout out to Lazy Dayz Racing, the sponsor of tonight's event. I want to thank those guys. Good group of racers, and appreciate them sponsoring the event. As the green flag back in the air, Ryan Gemmel in control. They'll take him down into turn number 1.
32's got a good run on safe on the inside. Let's see if he can get past him.
Yeah, definitely a lot of speed down there in that inside lane. Safe struggling with the damage, and you know, the older tires now. He's under pressure from Stravato. And how about this? Keith Maiotta, winner of stage 1. He is pinned up in that high side, and likely to get freight trained here is now Eric Hutton to the inside. Another good short
he's
track
frustrated.
racer.
He is frustrated for sure seeing AJ pass him. I think right now he's thinking AJ's probably his biggest competition. Same pitch strategy and everything. And he's pulling away from him, and Keith is stuck on that outside line, just going to keep getting passed on the inside.
Yeah, there's a couple drivers that just got past him. As there's Safe Ferris dives down to the inside. He's going to get a huge shot from Eric Hutton. Wow, that could have been a big deal.
That was dangerous.
Yeah, that could have collected a bunch of drivers, but hard on the brakes for everybody, and they all survive it. But a couple drivers I was about to say that are real good short track racers up here in the mix are Eric Hutton and Chris Samard, who's now moved to 4th. And how about that? He's got to be the biggest mover. Yellow flag flying again, though. It is the 41 of Ostrowski, I believe, at the back of the field out of turn number 2. Ostrowski, I think, going around. Let's go take a look.
I'm listening to a little bit of the driver chat. It seems like they're not happy out there right now.
Yeah, the 41 just a self-spin on the backstretch, and everybody able to avoid him. He gets rolling again, but just kind of disrupting the flow of the race. It was getting pretty exciting up there at the front, and the 41 self-spin, so easy to do out of turn 2, but we'll see if he can clean it up and keep it straight moving forward. Just a third of the way through the race so far, and we have had now 7 cautions. Yeah, I'm sure I would be feeling the same way. It's a bit frustrating out there when you're not getting those green flag runs.
I know one person's happy to see all these cautions come out. It's the leader, Ryan, on older tires. The more cautions that come out, the easier it is for him to hold on to that lead, in my opinion.
Yeah, both he and Mark Emerson on slightly older tires, but only 10 laps the difference between them and the rest of the field. And we'll see if anybody elects to bring it in this time. Doesn't appear that the field is working down that way. Maybe Zach Smith, he's all the way down there by the wall. Nope, he's going to stay out. And so the field's going to continue to circulate under the yellow flag. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we will be right back. And back at the racetrack now with the Lazy Dayz 200 at Martinsville for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Just past 70 laps completed in this event. We've already gotten through stage number 1, and it's been a bit of a race of attrition for some drivers who have seen it all so far here in the first third of the event. And working towards the end of stage 2. And we want to welcome you here to V-Speed if you're just joining us. This is the cutoff race for round 2 of the playoffs, and shaping up to be an exciting finish to that round. As green flag back in the air, Ryan Gemmel gets him going down the front straightaway. Down into 1 and 2, side by side, back here for 4th position. The teammates, Mayato takes away that 4th spot. Here comes Eric Hutton challenging to the inside of the 37. And big wiggle by both those drivers. They hang on to it. But drivers really getting after it here and maybe trying to keep it clean as well. We've seen a lot of early cautions, one after another. And so far, good going here after this restart. Now Safe Ferris to the inside of his teammate, Chris Samard. 44.
Yeah, they got single file pretty quick this time. I think they might be tired of those cautions, that's for sure. I know I would be if I was out there.
Yeah, it might have been a command by the admin too to try and clean it up. Not exactly sure. But yeah, they are pretty orderly right now. As Ryan Gemmel going to lead him across the line to complete lap 76. 77 goes on the board. Or maybe not. Maybe that was lap 75. Now 76 on the board, and Gemmel... Oh, you know what? I was a little bit behind. But Gemmel leading the way over Mark Emerson, AJ Stravato, Keith Mayato in that 4th position. Starting to pull away from Eric Hutton, and Safe Ferris not too far behind as well with a good recovery from his early issues.
If I am the leader, Ryan, right now, I see the 48 and the 36 getting closer, and I just want them to race each other as hard as possible. Please wreck each other or do something, because I would like a win, please.
Yeah, Ryan's been so close. Multiple runner-up finishes this season. and a race winner from last year at Michigan. You know, I was talking with Ryan actually yesterday when they were doing some testing at this track, and he said that he has never really been able to figure this place out, but he's got something figured out right now, actually pulling quite a good gap on Mark Emerson and the rest of those top four. But yellow flag gonna fly this time. Dallas Sullivan, playoff driver, going around in turn number 2. Let's see what happened to Dallas.
Is it another self-spin?
Oh, I think he got a bit of help with this one. Let's
Oh. Yeah, got some help there for sure. No damage. He kept it clean, it looks like.
Iconic number 46 machine with not much damage going into that corner and not much coming out, but he does get that tap on the back bumper from Kyle Payne, and that's the second one I think Kyle's been a part of starting, so maybe getting some warnings here. And there are penalties for causing yellow flags in this league. If you cause 1, it's an EOL. If you cause 2, I believe it's a drive-through penalty. And if you cause a third one, I believe it's a 1-lap penalty. So don't want to be causing yellow flags. You don't want to get into other drivers here. You can definitely rack up those penalties fast. As we'll see if Kyle gets a drive-through under the green flag conditions. But like you said, Ryan Gemmel, he's loving what he's seeing with these yellow flags.
Yeah, he's going to hold on to the league if they keep coming out. And it looks like Dallas Sullivan was given an EOL on that. Interesting. Did he claim it, or did the admins put the blame on him?
Yeah, this is kind of a self-policing league. Usually the drivers will claim a yellow flag they think they caused. And I'm not sure. That, to me, didn't look as much on... You know, if it was anything, it was a racing incident, but it looked like the 68, you know, maybe had more of the blame there, but maybe they saw things a bit differently in car. And
it's hard to tell.
It is sometimes
when
real.
you're in the car.
Yeah, you don't have that visibility that we've got here looking down from above.
Maybe he's just playing it safe. I'm pretty sure I read in the rules that if it goes to admin review, there are harsher penalties. So maybe he's just saying, hey, it's been wrecking a lot. Let's just go to the back and not take a chance on getting a penalty there and hopefully work our way back up.
Yeah, the 68 looks like he's dropping to the tail of the field as well. So maybe they like shared blame with that one. I really don't know. But either way, should be getting the 1 to green this time. Ryan Gemmel, he has been out front now for 27 laps and started in 14th. So one of the biggest movers in this field. Up 13 spots, right now leading the way. He'll have Mark Emerson, who's hungry for some points. Really needs a good finish and some points tonight. And he's up here going to be challenging for stage number 2 like he was stage number 1. And hopefully this time he can keep all 4 tires pointed in the right direction rather than pointed backwards.
Look at the 44. That's not looking good. That means there might be a caution in the middle of the pack again. So he's been a magnet tonight for those.
Yeah, he's been kind of the siren, right? The sign of things to come. And he's up here in the mix again. But green flag back in the air. Good restart for the 32 of Mark Emerson. Almost able to stay alongside. He'll get down into second. And he's going to give a little bit of a shot there to the 6. And now work to the inside quarter panel. But not able to stay alongside as AJ Starvato got a big slide out of turn number 2.
Yeah, he's struggling with the car right now. Probably the tires heated up after that big wiggle off of 2. And he's stacking up the rest of the field for sure.
Yeah, Safe Fair is trying to take advantage using the outside lane. But AJ with a good pull there as we've got cars hard in the wall. I see Justin Carey, maybe others trying to catch up with it. Justin with a bit of damage. Yellow flag did fly. So maybe not too big of a wreck as everybody's back under power and moving along. But let's go take a look. Another quick yellow flag. Cautions, breathing cautions here tonight. And a few other drivers involved that I didn't see. Justin Carey was just kind of an innocent bystander. Oh, Alan Dayz hard into the corner, tags the 39, who tags the 21. And really, Timmy Emanuele, I think, with the worst hit of anybody there. Really hard in the outside wall. The SpaceX machine collecting a bit of rear end damage. I think a little farther back, it looks like Nick Starling got involved in a separate incident. What happened to Nick? Oh yeah, completely unrelated. The 13 of Jordan Shepler. I think maybe the same mistake. Oh no, he got help from Dallas Sullivan. So Dallas, that maybe it was a mistake to claim the first caution, because he did have a part in this one. Got into the 13, turns him into the wall. The 99 involved in it. Just nowhere to go. A lot of stuff happening right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find all of it and I can't. There's just too much going on. I find one and then you mention something else. I can't keep up with you.
Yeah, I just saw stuff out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, wait a second, that's not even the same wreck. And it's kind of like what we saw earlier. 2 wrecks happening almost simultaneously in the same corner. That's the second time tonight. And,
Adam, did you put a jinx on the track?
Oh man, I don't think so. I love this place. I don't want a jinx here, but it has been rough for these guys in the opening half. 9 cautions in the first 90 laps now, and we'll see if they can clean it up for the second half. But so far, a race of attrition for a few of these playoff drivers.
All I'm hoping is after this next stage at 100, they got 100 laps to run. It's going to be double the length of both stage 1 and stage 2. So hopefully they can keep it green, knowing that it's going to be a little bit longer. But if I was a betting man, I would say no.
Yeah, it's likely that there will be at least one more yellow flag in that stage. But you know, we can hope for the best. And you know, one driver I think who's doing a great job of you know what's been going on here is Chris Simard. He's been up here in the mix now, in the top 10 for quite a while, and with a good shot to earn some good points here in stage 2, and continues to march closer to the front.
Yeah, he's been slowly working his way up front, and no reason for him to be aggressive. We were mentioning it earlier, he's up by 39 points in the playoffs right now, and right now where he's finishing, more than likely he's gonna advance. I don't see any reason for him not to.
Yeah, I think a top 10 would more than do it. Really, a top 15 I think would guarantee him in for sure. So doing a good job, doing what he needs to do as the field working through 3 and 4. Gemmel with control, kind of stacks him up. Mark Emerson pulled a bit forward on him, but Gemmel with a good launch. And now second is maybe going to be contested, but it looks like teammate AJ Stravato maybe going to cut Mark Emerson some slack, knowing that Mark needs the points to advance. We'll see.
In the playoffs, it's everyone for themselves. That's all I have to say. AJ needs these points, and he wants to win that championship. I know he's up by a lot, but if his teammate's out, it only helps him more, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is still trying to challenge down low, but not really able to get alongside, and Mark has not cleared himself just yet, but now he does into turn 3, and he's got a car length and a half, maybe 2 out of turn number 4 to make up on Ryan Gemmel. Now let's go on board here right now with Mark as he tries to chase down the 6 with only a handful of laps remaining in stage number 2.
The 32 and the 6 just even in speed, it looks like. No one can really pull away from one another. 32 is going to try and run a little bit higher like he was that previous stage, but he's just not getting the run off the corner, in my opinion.
Yeah, last time by he was 17 1/1000 slower than the 6 of Ryan Gemmel, and we'll see what he is this time. I think maybe a little bit gained that time. Yeah, 36 thousandths faster, but that is not enough. He's about 3/10 behind it. Safe fair, it goes around.
What happened there? The 36 looks like he got into the back of him, maybe?
I do not know. For those two teammates, and that's really going to put the 36 of Mayato.
No, 44 just... Guess what happened? He self-spun. Even our better drivers here in the league are struggling with this setup, self spins all around. Everyone gets a self spin tonight.
Yeah, it's like being on Oprah. You get a self spin and you get one, and
seriously,
safe. Yeah, hot into the corner there.
But a good job by Keith keeping off of him and not really running into him and keeping that car clean. He does lose a lot of positions off of it, but at least he keeps the car clean.
Yeah, the 81 of Cody Adkins might have made some contact with the back of the 36 as he tried to avoid that wreck. Let's see if we can go to the nose cam of that car. So far around the corner, and he was in the smoke and went the wrong way. Did make some contact with my auto. But it doesn't look to be all that serious. Keith, you know, pretty quick to start, and I think minor rear end damage won't be a big issue for him. But
the car does look pretty clean still.
Yeah, just a little crinkle there in the left rear, not going to be a big problem. He's just got to be more concerned that, yeah, it looks like it's driving straight. Yeah, no contact with the axle or anything, but he does bring it down pit road to get some fresh tires and fuel and try to reset his mindset. As actually that was the conclusion of stage number 2. I remembered when they have the yellow flag within the last 5 laps, that does end the stage. So Ryan Gemmel going to win the stage, and the only one driver electing to stay out on the racetrack, that is Dennis Faircloth, staying out on the track. Here he comes on the pit lane, but able to lead a lap, and that bonus point can be very crucial for a driver who's looking to make it in on points.
Every point matters. 12 back, he's going to have to do more than that, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, and this is this strategy here of pitting after everybody else is going to put him at the tail end of the lead lap. So we'll see where he cycles out, but right now looking like he'll probably be 22nd, 23rd area, and that is going to be a lot of work to do, but he does still have half the race to do it.
Plenty of time, that's for sure. And one thing that's interesting is we've had so many cautions tonight, and we only have 4 cars not on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think you know, anybody that was a lap down probably got a lucky dog.
At this point.
Yeah. And only, Timmy Emanuele is 1 lap down. Nick Starling is 19 laps down, and then Seth Hatchell has returned to the racetrack. He takes a wave around, but right now 66 laps off the pace. That car looks okay, and we'll see what kind of lap times he makes. Seth, a good driver at this place, but not really the night he was looking for, that's for sure.
Maybe he'll get 66 cautions. Who knows?
I mean, I don't know if we're quite at that rate.
Hopefully not. Yeah, that'd be a lot, but hopefully not. But you never know. I highly doubt it, though. He might get another 5.
Yeah, green flag back in the air. Ryan Gemmel gets him going. Gets a good jump over Mark Emerson, who slopped back into that 2nd position. And now some characters up here in the top 5 that are a bit different. Nick Gardner with a good run, and he needed one as well coming in to this race. I believe it was 4 points below the cut line, or actually 4 points above. I think he was the car on the inside. But he's up here in the top 5 now in the second half of this race, and trying to make the most of the issues that some of these drivers.
Oh, and the 20 gets hooked, and a big stack up in the back. Safe Ferris right in front of him. He does get damaged this time. That was a big wreck compared to what we've seen earlier today. It looks like the 20 got help also on that one.
Yeah, and cautions again, breeding cautions. I saw it kind of in the back of the camera, and just could not see that they actually went around, but good catch there. Yeah, the 20, maybe with some help. Let's see if we can find it. Oh yeah, very interesting incident right there. Out of turn number 2. Joey Mines in the 20. He goes 3 wide with the 13 of Jordan Shepard. Justin Carey tries to sneak through, and man, big stack up there. And Dennis Faircloth, a playoff driver. Safe Ferris, playoff driver. I think Dallas Sullivan maybe caught up in this. He was able to get on the brakes hard enough, so he was able to navigate through. Nathaniel Ostrowski able to woe it up, and he stays off of the wrecked drivers, and that is not what Seth Hatchell wanted to see. He's like, man, I'm already so far back. And he was right behind all that as well. I think he was able to stay off of it, but man, he's got to be feeling just like this is the worst night ever.
Seriously, and another car who just came back out on the track, the 99 of Nick Starlin, he's way behind, 19 laps down, and he gets involved in another wreck. These guys got to be thinking, what the heck do I got to do? I'm 19 laps down. Can't you just let me get by these already?
Yeah, Hatchell actually got the lucky dog there with the other drivers laps down getting involved. But yeah, Nick, I kind of mentioned it a bit earlier. He's had some just terrible luck this season, not only here in the Cup Series, but also the Xfinity Series. In the first few races, he's been involved in something, I think, each week, not really of his own doing. And you got to feel that's got to be wearing on him at this point, so many races consecutively.
It's frustrating as a driver to not feel like you're fast and feel like you can compete and get top 10s and just constantly get wrecked every week. I know I've gone through pages like that. I know AJ Stravato has gone through stuff like that. And it's hard to do, but you just got to keep fighting through that streak of bad luck, and hopefully one day it turns around for you.
Yeah, and I think tonight's start to the race is actually going to be, maybe a confidence booster for Nick. He was up there, battling for that race lead for a bit of this event. So he knows he's got the speed, and definitely just has to find the luck, Sometimes it's just finding yourself in a better position throughout the race. And not losing that track position can be so crucial, especially at a track like Martinsville. We'll see if we get the one to go here. If not, I want to get an interview in. But I think we're getting the one to go, and there it is.
Yeah, looks like we're one to go.
All right, so next yellow flag, I'm going to try and get an interview in with Nick Gardner, that 16 machine, who's been doing a great job here, up 6 spots, and in good position to advance into the next round.
Yeah, solid performance. Definitely something he needs, only being up 4 points. I know he's, I don't know what his opinion about all these cautions are. If he's up front, he's definitely happy about it, but if he's further in the back, he wouldn't be.
Yeah, definitely doing what he needs to do. Is Gemmel gets him going early, and a good restart for him. He'll pull in front of Mark Emerson, who also got a pretty solid launch. He'll slot into second once again, and he's been doing a great job with that, and really putting some pressure on Gemmel out of 2. But the 6 gets a good pull down the straightaway, as now they're 3 wide, a bit farther back. Jeremiah Vincent went low beneath Josiah, and now it's still 3 wide. Mayato sorting his way through, and yellow flag flying again. I think maybe Dallas Sullivan, and it has just become chaos here at Martinsville, and you can almost predict as they get going that there's going to be another yellow flag. It's so hard for these guys tonight to get these cars up to speed. Let's go take a look at what brought it out. Trying to see. Maybe another case of late braking? I don't really know. Oh, 44 of Ferris gets into the 21. 21 gets into 71. 71 gets into the 46. So a huge reverse domino effect? I don't really even know.
21 got on the brakes really early there. I don't think the 44 was expecting that at all. I don't think you can really blame the 44 on that. That was very early braking by the 21 car.
Yeah, let's see if we can get another view of this. Coming down the straightaway, he got on the brakes about the same time as the 71, and I think Safe maybe a bit quicker, just didn't expect it, and yeah, just drove right into him. But things not going Safe's way now. He said, the luck was probably going to run out being so close to so many accidents, and he's already run out now, I think.
Yeah, just not his night, that's for sure.
Had some good speed, was up there at the front for a few laps, and now starting to get that car pit farmed once again. But Ryan Gemmel, we said it in stage 2, and I think the same notion stands here in stage 3. Loving what he's seeing with the yellow flags, even though it's not as fun. He could very well, use those to his advantage and take a victory here tonight.
The end of this race is going to be interesting. I think this race is going to be one off of someone pitting at the right time and just the race falling their way. I really feel like that's gonna be it. It could even be just no one pits anymore. I honestly get the feeling there might not be any more pitting if we keep getting this many cautions. There's no point to pit and lose that track position when you're barely making laps on the tires.
Yeah, only 15 laps on this set of Goodyear Eagles and fuel, so they should be able to stretch it the rest of the way with the yellow flags falling as they have. And let's see if we can pull up Nick Gardner, that 16 machine, having a very solid run so far. Let's see if I can pull him in the booth here with us. Nick Gardner, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Nick, a caution-filled race tonight, but you are doing a great job up here in the top 5. How's the car feeling, and what are your goals here for this last half of the race?
Trying to stay up here with Mark. I mean, I know if he wins, I'm out, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just trying to stay close to him and see what I can do. Short tracks are kind of my weakness, so just kind of doing what I can here.
Definitely putting on a good performance so far tonight. Good luck the rest of the way. All right, and that was a bit shorter than I wanted. I didn't realize we were going green that time, so.
These cautions are quick.
Yeah, definitely quick. As they get back up to speed, Ryan Gemmel with some more pressure now. The 32 almost on his quarter. He's going to pull up in front of him. Does Mark try and make the move down into turn 3? No, he's going to stay in line. And he tried to get to the bumper, but got to the apron first. And that is going to check him up a little bit now. A car length the advantage for the 6 of Ryan Gemmel as they work down into turn number 1 again. And Chris Samard getting to the back of Eric Hutton and Nick Gardner.
Are they going to keep it straight? No, I don't know.
Oh, the 70 gets turned around. Yellow flag flies again. Man, good save, though, by Nick as he got into it with Chris Samard. And the 70 of Lyle Solfridge paying the price there, along with maybe some others. But yet, cautions, breeding cautions, and it has been non-stop here tonight. Usually you'd see an end to it, but the way it's going, it's tough to see that coming to an end.
It would have kept going green, but it looked like, what car was it? Someone got turned on the outside, the 13. Looks like the 1 tried to shoot out and just hooked him, and he got loose and turned to 70.
Yeah, so that all stacks up, and then the 1 gets into the 13 who tags the 70 of Sulfridge. And then they stack up there. That's Dallas Sullivan, Joey Mines, who have been involved in multiple things tonight. And almost contact as Lyle gets rolling again. Justin Carey, who's also been involved in a couple things, nearly getting caught up there. And Nick Starling, he brought it to a screeching halt behind all of it. Able to avoid one finally. But Nick, one of the admins here, I'm sure not loving what he's seeing on the racetrack right now. It's been a rough one for a lot of these drivers.
It's been chaos out there on the track, that's for sure.
Yeah, 13 yellow flags in the first 118 laps. 4 lead changes. Ryan Gemmel now out front. He's led 62, so he's actually led the most laps and doesn't even feel like it.
Yeah, just pacing. Eye pacing at this point.
Yeah, easy laps to lead, that's for sure. But how about Seth Hatchell? Getting a couple more laps back. He's now down to 64, and you never know.
Come on, buddy, you can do it. Get back on that lead lap.
He's doing a good job. Just Seth is not one to give up, so he'll stay out here till the race is over and at least cheer on the teammates. But not his night. Hoping that one of the other V-Speed drivers can make it through and get the victory. And right now, Ryan Gemmel leading the charge for that team. Behind him, 2 of the LDR drivers in Mark Emerson and AJ Stravato. Actually, all 3 of them right there behind Mark Emerson, AJ Stravato, Eric Hutton up there in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then Chris Samard for Team V-Speed in that 5th position. So a couple of the normal contenders up at the front. But the only winner out of all those drivers, well, 2 winners in Mark Emerson and AJ Stravato, both up there. But Mark has not won in a while, and he's looking for kind of a rebound performance, and he needs those points. We keep saying it about so many drivers.
Definitely doing his part, trying to advance, that's for sure.
And we're gonna
One
get
interesting thing before the green flag comes out, almost every car in the field has rear end damage. It's hilarious to look, just their rear bumpers are getting pounded.
Yeah, I think it's a case of it's tough to slow these things down tonight. I think they're really having trouble getting down to the corner speed. As green flag back in the air. Gemmel again, a good launch. He's been perfect on these restarts, and yellow flag flies straight away.
Interesting.
Oh my.
Not surprised, but interesting.
And you picked quite the night to jump up here in the booth. I don't know what happened. Oh, I do know what happened.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me. I can't find it.
The 70 of Lyle Solfridge, a self-spin getting up to the back of the pack to take the restart. Loops it around, tags the outside wall right in front of Justin Carey, and never got the green flag as we went straight back to the yellow. Ryan Gemmel breathing easy, but he's been nailing these restarts. He's just got to continue to do it, and we'll see how it ends up. But that yellow flag flying again, and we are going to cut to another commercial break.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big, all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for a baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
And back at Martinsville, got the 1 to go signal. It's going to be Ryan Gemmel, Mark Emerson going to lead us back to the green flag. 126 laps completed out of 200 scheduled to run tonight. And it has been a yellow flag fest, a caution fest, and a wreck fest. I don't like to use that word, but it has been non-stop here tonight. We'll see if they can keep it green. Gemmel stacks him up. The 32 pulled way out in front of him, but Gemmel's still able to nail that restart there, and the 32 trying to find a spot in line, can't do it, as now here comes Stravato, gonna try and challenge for second, and this is a bit of a change up here at the front. Can Stravato get down in the corner, almost up into the door?
They are tight for sure, not a lot of room, and Mark does not want to give up that spot to his teammate AJ. If he gives it up, his chances of winning are a lot worse than they were before.
Yeah, and AJ making some good progress down low in the field. Has kept it green now for at least a couple laps, but he's still not able to complete that pass. Valiant effort by the 32 up high, hanging on to that position across the line. It was a dead heat .416 behind Gemmel for both of them, as they still put on a drag race down the backstretch, but it looks like Stravato now going to take that spot away. And here comes Chris Samard challenging. Now the freight train has started. Can Eric Hutton get into the low line? Is he going to let his teammate in?
Not good news for the 32. Already lost 2 spots after that restart. That's not what he was looking for.
And Hutton looked like he was maybe going to challenge there, but he backs out of it. And actually, Mark Emerson gave a shot to the 37 in the corner. And Smart able to hang on to it. He's taken over the 3rd position, up from 20th starting spot. The biggest mover trying to get up there and challenge for a race win. As Gemmel maybe starting to feel that pressure, though, from AJ Stravato, who's been so fast tonight.
As soon as AJ has a shot, he's going to actually be able to, for the first time tonight, other than I believe at the end of stage 2, actually try to make a pass for the lead, as we haven't really had that many. I believe almost all of our passes for the lead have been either under caution or pit road. As another caution comes out, as I mentioned the word, let's try and find out where that was.
Yeah, it's looking like it was Dallas Sullivan involved in this one again. And Dallas, who really needed a good run tonight, has had the exact opposite of that. And I think involved with another playoff driver. Let's go back and see what happened. Safe Fair is right around the incident. I don't know if they made contact. It looks like they were pretty much
yeah,
nose
they
to
did.
tail. Oh, and maybe a bit of net code there. Oh, but big hit for the 46. He backs it in the wall and it sticks there. And then makes a second bit of contact with the 44 as they get back up to speed. I'm sure those drivers not happy with each other at the moment.
That's not that's net code, as you said. That's I'm sure they don't realize it because it was they were very, very close to hitting each other, but that wasn't really their fault. And now they're upset with each other. I can hear it a little bit over the mic. They're bumping each other on the racetrack after watching the replay. They're not happy with each other, and it wasn't even anyone's fault really. And looks like both of those drivers have really bad luck, and when they get together, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, it's been a bad night for both the 44 and the 46. And, you know, I'm looking at it again, the 46 of Dallas Sullivan, he's missing that rear clip. And it's very possible that, you know, some of the graphical issues or weird things that happen there. But yeah, wow, there's some payback. You see Safe giving him a shot on the front straightaway, just catching up to that. So yeah, not happy, the 2 playoff drivers there who, one was on the inside coming in, and I believe Dallas, you know, really needed a good run here to pull himself back in. But not having what he needs here tonight, and this
No, not at all.
This is going to change some strategy potentially for some drivers. You know, we just had a reasonable run there. I don't know exactly how many laps it was, maybe 5-10 laps. And that gets some heat in the tires. Start feeling that wear. And we still have over 50 laps to go. You think anybody's going to pit at any point here in the next little bit?
If I was 10th on back, I would be highly considering pitting. Safe could do it. I know he's got a good enough cushion to where he can take a risk like that and pit, but then again, he'd be going all the way to the back of the pack. I definitely think someone should do it just to shake it up and make things a little interesting, but again, how good are fresh tires going to do you when every 5 laps there's a caution? That's got to be what's going through these drivers' heads, so most of them are going to stay out, and it looks like most of them are.
Yeah, Safe actually pitted 12 laps ago. Now 13 laps ago. So he has some of the freshest tires, and maybe that's what the issue was there. He was trying to make it past Dallas, who's got much older tires. But yeah, not a lot of those are on green, so really shouldn't be a huge differential.
The question now is, can the 6 of Ryan keep up his great restarts that he's been doing all night long? And with 48 on the outside, he's definitely going to have to do it a little bit even better now.
Yeah, good restart right there. He's got a teammate behind him trying to get in underneath the 48. And can he do it down into 1? 48 dives it in deep. Here comes Samard, going to try and challenge for that 2nd spot. And oh, maybe a blink there for the 6. He gets back in the race though, and the 48 really trying to send it
really deep.
Oh.
32 gets punted. He's gonna lose spots on that. I don't know what happened. I think he just got put into the rear end. He's not happy about that. That's for sure. He's gonna lose even more spots. He's falling back now.
Trying to see what happened here. He tried to slot in between the 37 and the 77, gave him a big tap, and they stacked up behind him. And yeah, right now back to 7th position. And Mark, he needs the points. He's still up here in a spot where he could potentially transfer, but he's not making it much easier on himself by doing stuff like that. It's Dennis Faircloth. Oh, and Cody Adkins gonna overshoot the corner. He gets into the 16 of Nick Gardner and into the 80 of Dennis Faircloth. I was just about to say Dennis up there in the mix. And they get together there. Another example of what we've seen all race long.
This is something else, that's for sure. I can't believe how many self-spins we've had. It looked like he was just surprised himself and got into the corner a little too hard and tried to keep himself from hitting the car in front of him and got sideways because of it. I think we've been seeing all night.
Yeah, just maybe too focused on the car alongside and not really on where you're braking, but that's a big hit for the 16 of Gardner. He gets tagged by the 39 of Timmy Emanuele. The 80 of Faircloth gets not really too much damage there. He only got kind of tapped in the left front. Yeah, but Nick Gardner with some heavy damage from that, and Cody Adkins with maybe some feelings hurt or his pride hurt for making that mistake. Overall, not really too serious of an accident, but yeah, definitely a bit surprising to see all the issues getting down into the corner. Usually you see cars having problems coming out of the turns, and it must just be something with this setup, this temperature track combination. I really don't know. It's been messy tonight though.
Yeah, something's definitely going on for sure. The only time you really see anything going on into the corner is if drivers run into the back of each other because different braking zones. It's normally with the setup off of the corner, like you said, where you have issues, whether it be loose or tight, and you can't get that good run off. So it's been an interesting night. It looks like the drivers just have their hands full trying to keep this thing straight.
Yeah, and you know, I did some practice the other night here just to feel the car out, and I felt some of those issues with the braking into the corner. It was a bit more unstable than normal, but as long as you're not over driving it, it wasn't hard to you know, get through these turns. It was just if you push that extra car length too far, and we're on the brakes, you know, 5-10% too much, that combination is dangerous here, and it always really has been. But I think this setup tonight just exaggerates that. There's no real saving it once it starts to come around.
Yeah, and while you were talking, I was looking to see, because I saw AJ fell pretty far back to the pack, and I wanted to see if he pit, and it looks like him and Keith and the 4 of Josiah Vincent, I believe they're all teammates. So
yeah,
looks like there's a little bit of a talking going on, trying to figure out what might be best to get a better finish towards the end of the race.
Yeah, so AJ and Josiah are kind of satellite teams, probably communicating with each other. Keith is Team V-Speed, so he probably is just kind of going off of what they're doing. Yeah, they just pitted. Maybe they can't make it on fuel. I would find that almost hard to believe, but it would be right around 100 laps.
I think they're fine on fuel.
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre. Maybe they're just hoping something happens here. But Chris Samard now to the outside of his teammate. Green flag back in the air. Underway once again from Martinsville. We'll see how long they can keep it green this time, and not very long at all. Instantly back under yellow as Joey Mines goes around, collecting Lyle Sulfridge, Nathaniel Ostrowski, and potentially some others. Timmy Emanuele looks like he was involved as well. So back under yellow we go.
Yeah, this time definitely something different. It looks like the 20 just spun his tires, and ow, ooh, that the 41 car of Nathaniel absolutely hammered him coming off of the turn 4.
Oh,
I don't think he was expecting that at all, that's for sure. That's gotta hurt.
That is a big hit indeed. Bounces off the outside wall. Just not exactly sure. Maybe there was some smoke there. Let's see if we can go on the nose cam with Nathaniel. They definitely smoke and then just tags him, and that shoots the car to the outside wall. And it looks like the other drivers there, the 70 and the 39, were able to avoid it. But how about Keith Maotto? He's back there in the Hornet's Nest. He just barely got past that. It happened right there in front of him.
All I know is he wants all of his bad luck to happen tonight and not starting next week.
Yeah, because he is guaranteed in, and it doesn't really matter what happens, but things have not gone according to plan, I think, based on how Stage 1 went. He's back here in 15th position.
I don't think anything's gone according to plan to any of these drivers, except maybe Ryan. He's the only one who's probably happy right now.
Yeah. Just to recap, 17 cautions through the first 75% of this race. Only 4 lead changes. And it has been a messy race. That's really the only word I can use. And we are going to be right back. Well, we'll see if they go to the 1 to go here. Otherwise, we'll go to a quick commercial break. But Gemmel definitely in the best position, I think, to win this. And there are some surprises up in the top 10, and we are not getting the 1 to green. So we'll go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with that green flag.
V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to present the 2021 Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, brought to you by the American Trucking Association, starting January 14th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays at twitch.tv/VSpeedSim.
At the racetrack, Gemmel, Hutton on the front row. Green flag back in the air. 6 gets a good jump. Hutton not able to keep up, but he'll hang on to second. Samard able to stay to the inside of Mark Emerson, as we've got a slow car up in front of the leaders. That's Nathaniel Ostrowski. We'll see if he plays any kind of a factor here. But right now, Gemmel leading over the 77 of Eric Hutton. How about Safe Ferris? He's on slightly fresher tires, like we said, up to 5th position. Right behind him, Dennis Faircloth, Jeremiah Vincent, Dallas Sullivan in the top 10. Not what you'd expect after all of this.
Oh, and the 32 gets absolutely punted going into the turn, and there's further wrecks going on. The 46 gets turned. What is happening out on the track?
I think drivers losing their cool. And Mark Emerson taking a big hit right there. I mean, I think he was able to keep the car pretty well clean through all of that. But yeah, they stacked up. Let's see what happened here. All right, back at the replay, side by side with Chris Samard. 32 dives it into the corner. Might be the next set of corners here, actually. As yeah, Mark got a good run out of the corner, able to somewhat clear. The 37 tried to get back to the inside, made contact. Mark kept it up. He kept it out of the way, actually. Did a great job, and then lost it trying to get back to the gas, and backed into the 71. But what happened to Dallas Sullivan? He got tagged, I think it was by one of the Vincents. No, he got tagged by
AJ. Yeah, AJ, I heard on the mic say he literally could not see a thing going into that turn, and he tried to miss him, but he couldn't. He was apologizing a lot on the mic, so it definitely wasn't intentional.
Yeah, definitely just a check up there. It's so hard to see things, and yeah, he he got into him, that's for sure, but there was a bit of smoke, and sometimes the replay doesn't do it justice. But caught up in that one in the 46 going around, just when it looked like he was starting to get the ship righted back to where he was there outside the top 15.
Looks like Mark pitted. He is all the way back in the pack now, one of the only drivers to pit. He's the last car on the lead lap, so it's not looking good for him right now with how things have gone. There's only just over 40 laps to go, and he's dead last on the lead lap, basically.
Yeah, I think Chris Samard might end up with the EOL for that that wreck.
There it is. You were right.
Yeah, so he's going to end up back there with Mark, and we'll see if any kind of tempers flare. I know it was probably it's definitely unintentional, but you know, Mark's in a pressure position tonight. Chris, not so much. He's in a pretty secure spot. Really just needs I think at this point he probably just needs to finish the race. I think the stage points are going to be enough. But yeah, this will be interesting.
Yeah, Samard, he was taking it easy all race, gets up to the front, and maybe nerves got him and tagged the 32, and it's definitely been a common occurrence tonight with these yellow flags, and maybe I'm crossing my fingers right now, Adam. Maybe we can go green until the end.
Well, I'm crossing both of mine as well. We've only got a little over 40 to go. It'll be 41 when they take the green flag. And I do believe in these guys. I think they can at least go half that. I think we can go at least half that. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. But Gemmel with control. He's now got Safe Ferris behind him on fresher tires. And man, how crazy would it be if Safe ended up winning this thing? But Gemmel, great launch. Thank you, David Campbell Jr. for the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying so far. As Gemmel under pressure. Here comes Hutton now to the outside. Got to be so careful not to lose this top spot this late in the going with the cautions falling as they have. Hutton looking to the inside. Gemmel going to dive it deep in the corner. He's able to hang on to that top spot.
Yeah, and the drivers were definitely looking a little feisty there on that restart. There was a lot of bumping going on. The 9 bumped into the 44, and there is a caution out on the track. Let's try and find out what was happening with that caution.
Timmy Emanuele going around. Timmy has not had a good night here at 39 SpaceX Tesla Montage. Chevy Camaro has seen better days. Let's go take a look at what happened to him here to bring out the yellow flag just a few laps into that run.
Not something good.
Oh yeah. Maybe a driver at the back, a little bit frustrated, maybe a little impatient. Mark Emerson down into the corner. Gonna make contact with the 39 and send him around. And Timmy keeps it off of everybody else, but collects a bit more rear end damage.
Mark was up to 17th, it looks like, and now he's probably going to fall right back to the back of the lead pack.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a race for so many drivers. How about Keith Maiato and AJ Stravato back up here in 6th and 7th? Somehow finding their way back through all this with such a little green flag racing. Must just be getting perfect restarts and taking advantage of mistakes by some other drivers. As here comes Joey Mines, he'll get the lucky dog, and I think he'll get back on the lead lap. Yeah, 20 back on the lead lap, so that's 23 cars. As Chris Samard just brought it down for repairs. He'll be 24th. And Nick Starling, Seth Hatchell still on the racetrack, so 26 of the 27 starters still out there. Seth Hatchell, 64 laps down after starting in the 6th position. Has not been his night. Got involved early and sat on pit road for all that time, and he's actually, you could say he's been the fastest car ever since he got back on the track, because he's made up many laps on these drivers, if you want to look at it that way. But Seth, one of the better guys in the league in terms of consistency, and this is just going to be, kind of a one-off, I think, for him. he'll look to recover next week at the start of round number 3.
I'm going to put my pick in for the winner of this race right now.
Yeah?
And it probably won't make sense to any of the viewers or you. I think Dennis is going to get lucky and pull off a win here and advance to the next round. I really get the feeling he's just missing these wrecks and sticking up there. And I think if one thing can go his way, he can get that win and advance.
Yeah, and how big would that be? He's had 2 runner-up finishes this season. One at Road America and then one at Talladega, but has not found victory lane just yet. And what a way to do it here would be in the cutoff race for round 2 after a crazy, just chaotic event where he has been all through the fields, various pit strategies, and he's up here in the mix, like you said. Very possible he could come away with this. He's got to get through a few other drivers, including Ryan Gemmel, who gets a great restart, able to launch out in front a couple car lengths over the next 2 drivers.
Man, the Keith and AJ are aggressive. They're trying to make up those spots. They've been stuck behind these cars for a while, not able to make up the positions because of all these yellows.
You can tell Keith trying to get past the 48. Oh, big wiggle there, and there's AJ into the wall, slides into the 36, and they both hang on. Great piece of driving by those guys.
Yeah, it looks like my pick to win the race got pretty loose there off the corner and stacked them up behind him. He's should have taken into account those older tires. It looks like Keith and AJ's tires are just too good, and they're going to get right by him on the inside line.
That may have been strategic to just let those guys through. Trying to learn a little bit. He's just trying to survive this race at this point, I think. And yeah, definitely fading a bit. But 81 on the curb there. Able to keep it off of him.
Is it too late to change my pick?
You know, I think when you make a definitive call like that, you can't really take it back.
You know, no, I'm sticking with it. Things are going to go his way, and he's going to pull off that win tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Still 30 to go as Gemmel crosses the start-finish line. Now pulling away from Eric Hutton. 6.5 tenths the difference. Yeah, and stretching it out, that 6 car looking pretty good on this run. After feeling the pressure from Hutton previously, yellow flag flying again. And familiar characters.
Boy.
Timmy Emanuele, Joey Mines involved in another caution here. Let's take a look at what happened to those two to bring out another yellow flag. There's actually a group of guys that have been involved in so many wrecks. The 39 gets tagged by the 70 and then spins down onto the curb, gets a little hit from the 99, the 20 gets into him. The 41 of Ostrowski able to sneak past, but man, it just seems nonstop for a few of these guys. They just can't find clean running room. I don't think that's really Timmy's fault all that much. He's been involved in so many things tonight, and just got a feel for him. A rough night.
Yeah, and my pick to win the race, Dennis got involved in that. The car in front of him looked like he got turned around also, and Mark Emerson got hit from behind also. He didn't get too much damage from it, but he's getting involved in a lot of these late race wrecks and not what he wants. He's very close to that cutoff, and if this keeps happening, he's not going to make it.
Let me throw a curveball at you. The 6 car just stopped for tires and fuel, along with safe fares. So they're going to be outside the top 20 on this restart. And
interesting. Maybe they were short on gas.
I think it might have been very close or something. They do run a reduced fuel load in this league. I think it's 70%. I think it fluctuates between 60 and 70 depending on the length of the race. But maybe just a bit short. It had been about 75 laps, but Eric Hutton, who was on the same strategy, along with Dennis Faircloth and also Nick Starling, they've all been out there the same amount of time. They're still on the racetrack.
I certainly hope that he pitted because he needed gas. That if he just wanted to pit for the fresh tires, I think he just bit himself in the butt and is kind of just threw away a possible win at this point. So I really hope for his case it was a gas issue, not a strategy wanting to get fresher tires issue.
Yeah, we'll have to see. You know, maybe check in with him after the race and see what the call was there. Definitely a bit of an interesting strategic call. I don't really understand it, you know, for other reasons other than he needed fuel, like he said. So we'll have to just find out after the race. But a couple drivers this promotes to a good spot. Keith Maiato and AJ Stravato, they've somehow played this strategy right, gotten the car back in position. But still a couple drivers to work past. And Jeremiah Vincent, he is no slouch here at these short tracks. And Eric Hutton as well. Both of these guys have had very good runs at the short tracks this season. And also last season, they were right up there in contention. So this could be interesting. Drivers on slightly older tires, and a bunch right around there, the 30-40 lap mark. See how it shakes out. Eric Hutton gonna have control here though, and he's gonna get him going early. And not a good restart for Jeremiah Vincent, but he's gonna make a little contact with Keith Maiato straight off the bat, and he's gonna overshoot the corner.
Really hard. Yeah, definitely overshot that just a little bit, I would say. And AJ and Keith are going to be hunting that 77 of Hutton.
How interesting that this has worked out. We've got a car around. I can hear it. Yellow flag flying. Oh boy. I think maybe Dennis Steele.
I just heard the 68 take responsibility for that caution.
68 claimed it. That's Kyle Payne. Let's see if we can go back and find out. But man, that was setting up to be an interesting showdown among the top three. And Keith Maiato might find himself in not such a great position here with being on the outside for the restart. Well, let's take a look at the yellow flag and see what happened.
3 wide going into the turn, and then looks like the 68 backed off a little further back than where actually the wreck happened.
It's on the curb, tags the 13. That sends him up into the wall with Dennis Steele getting tagged. Nathaniel Ostrowski.
That'll do it. That'll definitely let you take responsibility for a caution. Hitting that curb is almost a death sentence if you got another driver around you. You're going to hit them more than likely.
Yes, sir. That curb is not your friend at this racetrack, and they haven't quite updated it here in iRacing yet, but they actually removed all that grass. And they paved it, and it's a tall curb down there. Like, it is significant. If you get up on there, that car is not going to handle well. And definitely not what you want to do when you're trying to pass people. That is for sure. But just to recap now, we're up over 20 cautions. That's 21 cautions and just 5 lead changes here at the front of the field. Eric Hutton maybe in the best spot to win this race. Maybe not. We'll have to find out. It'll be 20 laps to go next time by.
Right now, his best friends, as weird as it will sound, are the 2 drivers behind him. Depending on how they race each other, of course. If they race each other hard and get side by side, 77's looking at them like they're angels sent from heaven. But if they stay single and get up to his bumper, he's going to look at them like the devil.
Yeah, I think whoever gets in front between those 2 may have the best shot to win this race, to take it away from Eric Hutton at least. But Hutton has been out there. We don't want to forget this. He's been out there 83 laps on this set of tires and fuel. So he's probably got a very light fuel load, and then also worn tires that have gone through, I don't know, 75 heat cycles at this point. So he's in a dangerous spot as well.
Look at who's in 5th.
Mark Emerson.
Yeah, wow. Very impressive. He's doing everything he can to get a good finish here tonight.
Not far behind him, Chris Samard as well. But how about Alan Dice, Justin Carey, Dennis Faircloth all up here in the top 10. Nick Gardner as well. All those guys still trying to just fight it out here for the rest of the way. And under 20 to go. We'll be getting the green flag this time. Eric Hutton in control, gets him going. Good restart for him, but Mayato actually got a very good jump. He'll take second away, and yellow flag right off the bat.
Oh man, I keep getting riled up, and I'm like, let's get these last 20 laps in. Let's get some battles going. Let's see a position change for the lead, and
that is
shot down yet again.
It's exactly what Eric Hutton wanted to see, though. You can guarantee that. But Timmy Emanuele involved in this one. Let's go take a look here. I think maybe a self-spin, getting up to speed.
I think so.
He was behind Safe Ferris.
Yep. Self-spin.
So getting up through the gears. Just too hard on the gas there. Backs it in the outside wall, and we haven't seen it happen exactly like that, but we've seen a few instances like that here tonight. Timmy just can't stay out of trouble, whether he causes it or
rough night. He's gonna need some. I don't know what he's gonna need after this race to recover from the night he's had. It's been not fun for him, that's for sure. Maybe he'll go get dessert or something. I don't know.
Well, if you look at what's all over his race car, he's got SpaceX, he's got Elon Musk, he's got Tesla. He's a big Dogecoin guy, so at least he can take some comfort in the fact that Dogecoin is rocketing to the moon right now.
What on earth, Dogecoin, man? I wish I would have bought in earlier.
Yeah, I never bought any the whole, ever. I thought about it at one point, couldn't figure out where to get it, and I wasn't paying attention because it was worth so little. But man, I look like an idiot now. But crypto is so interesting, unpredictable, and just like this race.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You have not been able to expect what's going to happen, other than you can pretty much guarantee a caution is coming out whenever we take that green flag. So gonna be at least another 1 or 2 times around under yellow. We're gonna go to another quick commercial break and catch you back here at the restart.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy. You ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
Pal, you can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey, Josh's flight landed early. He'll be about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay. I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
All right, we're back here for the restart. Eric Hutton gets a good jump, but Keith Mayato also got a pretty good jump. He's going to be on the quarter panel trying to squeeze down in between the 48 and the 77 as they do get down in line. And they keep it straight. It's stacking up a bit farther back. Ryan Gemmel, Safe Ferris outside the top 10. We've got a car
the 80
going
goes around.
That's Dennis Faircloth in the outside wall.
I am sorry, Dennis. I gave you the curse. I gave you the announcer curse. I can't be saying people's names on here if I want them to do well.
Dennis
see
Faircloth,
what happens.
Yeah, going around. Nearly kept it out of the wall, just nosed it in, and not going to be too much damage, but again, actually, you know what? I think he got a bit of help with this one. I don't know if you're looking back at it as I am, but 21 hard in the corner, locks up the brakes and tags the 80. He loops it around, noses it into that outside wall. Nobody else involved, but that almost started. Well, actually, that's a whole separate incident than what was happening farther back in the field. The 6 of Ryan Gemmel and Safe Ferris and others were passing up Joey Lyons, who was well off the pace. Gemmel made some contact with the 71 and then the 20, so there was almost a separate wreck as those guys were navigating through.
Oh yeah, there it is. It looks like he was pushing them 3 wide, and oh man, that's a tight race, and that 6 is. I really hope he made that pit call because of gas, man. That sucks to see that car with that much speed get stuck in the back like this.
Yeah, that was definitely a close call for him, but able to avoid that wreck in front of him. And this is just playing right into the hands of Eric Hutton, who we're hoping can make it on fuel, but there is no guarantee. It's been 94 laps, most of those under yellow. Yeah, I don't know. He could be running on fumes by the time we get to that checkered flag.
We will find out once we get there, or even before. I know that for sure. All these cautions have definitely helped him if he is running short on gas.
Yeah, and the thing is, we may end up, with the way things are going, end up getting green-white checkered finishes, or what, you know. I'm just kind of thinking in advance here. If we get a green-white checkered scenario, they take the white flag and a caution happens somewhere around the racetrack, you know, are these guys going to end up coming back around to it? It's going to be an interesting finish. You know, I think something crazy could happen here with the way things have gone all race long. And we'll see if Hutton can hang on to it. He is definitely, you know, in prime position to win this race. He's just got to live up to the hype here, really, and you know, hold on to this top spot.
And even if he doesn't pull away the win tonight, he's pretty much locked himself into the chase at this point, as long as he finishes well. So, but still want that win, carry off that momentum. Winner's confidence is key going into these next rounds of the playoffs. And I know as a driver myself, having that winner's confidence can do a lot for you.
Yeah, Hutton won in the Xfinity Series here in the below the double yellow racing league, and has yet to find victory lane in this series. But good restart for Keith Maiato. Timed it perfectly, and he'll be side by side down into turn 1. Can he get the advantage before another yellow flag comes out? They're still going to be side by side down the back straightaway. Maiato dives it into the corner. Hutton right up to his door.
AJ's got to be loving this. He's about to get to the inside of the 36 and hopefully pass him also.
Oh man, Maiato trying so hard. Hutton drifts up the racetrack. Side by side, 5 laps remaining. Can they keep it green? Is a yellow flag gonna fall in favor of the 36 as Hutton pushing so hard he's gonna give a shot to the inside of the 36 and Maiato nearly loses it.
They keep it straight. Oh my goodness. And the 36 and 48 keep it straight, and 77 loving that for sure. He's gonna keep the lead and make a good gap.
What a save, though, by those two drivers. Second time we've seen that. Yellow flag now flies, and that's going to restack the deck. Maiato might get another shot at it as the 13 of Jordan Scheffler going around on the back straightaway. And we're getting a green-white checkered. We're going to overtime. Let's take a look at what brought it out before we get there. Scheffler... looks like coming out of turn 2. Something we haven't seen in probably 50 laps. A self-spin out of turn 2. All the cautions we've seen have been down into the corner. And he gets tagged hard by the 70.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. Again, middle of the pack, bringing out these cautions, these leaders. I think Eric wanted it to go green, actually, ironically, after how the nights have been. He's been praying for cautions, and now he was like, why couldn't you just keep it green? Now I gotta redo this again? I gotta have Keith and AJ on my butt again? Man, you guys are killing me.
Yeah, that was going to work out perfectly. He had pulled a big gap over those two. Mark Emerson's now up into the 3rd position. And Mark with fresher tires than anybody in here in the top 5. So he's got a shot at it now. He'll be restarting right behind the 77.
Man, I'll tell you, when the 48 got underneath 36 and they were about to wreck, I jumped out of my chair. I was that excited. I'm like, we're finally getting some good racing after all these cautions. And all for another caution to come out. So let's get a good finish here, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I believe in them. I mean, we're going to have to finish one way or another. They can't keep it going all race long or all, the rest of the way. We're going to have to finish. And we got a decent little run right there. I think that was 4 or 5 laps. If we can just do that, we only need to go 2 laps this next time. So it's all the pressure's on Hutton to get a great restart and get that advantage and try and pull a little bit of a gap over the 36 before they get to turn 1. It's definitely going to be interesting if my auto can stay alongside. He might be able to just edge him at the start-finish line or something like that.
Are we going to see a Joey Logano, Martin Truex?
It's either going to be that, it could be the Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson type finish where it's a drag race. Touch once, touch twice.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens here. Be a couple different numbers involved in this one, but we definitely, anything's possible. And it could come down to one of those other guys in the top 5, maybe even the top 10 coming away with a win.
Yeah, Gemmel's up to 8th, and Chris Martin back up to 6th, so they're working their way through the field, and you never know, with 3 green-white checkers possibly, they can win still.
Yeah, definitely possible. I think Samard maybe with the better opportunity, restarting a row closer than Gemmel, but both of them in the outside lane is going to make it tough. Josiah Vincent has been quiet. He's been up here all race long, really. Started 5th, he's in 5th. And we haven't seen much from Josiah. As we actually just went green, I was behind on the replay, and we got a yellow anyways, so...
Not sure where the yellow was. I know I saw the 48 get into the wall and spin his tires on the restart, but they didn't go around. They kept it straight, so let's look for where that caution was.
I think Kyle Payne, I'm going to go to the restart just so we can check out what happened there, because I saw the 48 spinning the tires. He tagged the wall twice and got hit by the 37. That stacked him up down low. Josiah Vincent able to avoid it. I think the 68 of Kyle Payne definitely involved, but maybe started with Jordan Scheffler. Nope.
A lot of different. Nathaniel Ostrowski hit the curb coming off of 4 and spun, and I think that kind of just chain reacted and everyone freaked out.
Yep, he spun. 13 hit the wall. 99 got involved. 68 of Kyle Payne, and it is just ongoing back here in the back half. And some of these guys, not really the cause of it. They're just trying to avoid it all and end up getting caught up in all this. Nearly missed that restart. I just caught it as they went green. But Hutton, he's got to do it again. Another green-white checkered attempt.
Oh my goodness, man! This is some interesting stuff, that's for sure. All race long, it's been coming out. They're consistent. I'll give them that. They're consistent.
That is true. 25 yellow flags tonight. I will say it's not the record. I think it might be a record for V-Speed broadcasts, but I've seen races that have had closer to 40 in league racing before. And I would not want to be a part of that, that's for sure. But tonight is maybe another type of race that I would not want to necessarily be one of the drivers out there.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I'm not down there and I'm up here, that's for sure.
Yeah. But Eric Hutton out in front, started 8th. He's in control of this race for the moment. He's led 35 laps. We are going to go to a quick message from below the double yellow, and we'll be right back.
V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to present the 2021 Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, brought to you by the American Trucking Association, starting January 14th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays at twitch.tv/VSpeedSim.
at the racetrack. Got the 1 to go signal again. See if we can make it to the checkered flag this time, or at least to the white flag, which means we'll get to the checkered flag. But Eric Hutton will have control. Keith Mayato on the outside. We'll see if he can get another fantastic restart. And then Mark Emerson and AJ Stravato, teammates of that 77, will be right behind. So 77 inching forward. Mayato times it pretty well. He's going to be alongside
Good
across
restart.
the start-finish line. And he'll be nose to nose through 1 and 2. Hutton gets an advantage though coming out of turn number 2, and yellow gonna come out again.
Oh boy, it's coming down to the very last possible. We're getting the max amount of laps we can tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess we're getting our money's worth, but let's go take a look at what happened. Trying to find it.
Looked like it was in the top 10, possibly.
Oh, safe fare is going around is what the cause was. Still trying to get back to that. Safe
It looks like it was just a stack up.
Yeah, Safe's been aggressive at changing lanes on these restarts, able to get into the other lane. And this time he gets tagged by the 71 of Lane Sulfridge. So a bit of irony. Changed lanes there right in front of the 71, and yeah, they stacked up. And he gets tagged by the 20 of Joey Mines. So Safe involved in another one. Not too bad of a hit there. That car, though, is battered on all sides. And not quite where it was when we took the green flag. I don't think any car is, though.
I'm looking through the field right now trying to find who has the cleanest car. Like, the leaders have pretty clean cars, but they're still pretty heavily damaged.
I think Hutton has maybe the cleanest. I see some damage to the back of the 4. Gemmel with a little bit of damage on the rear. He's got some nose damage as well. Yeah, there aren't any clean race cars. And I'm going to see if there's anybody without incidents, and it looks like the only one is Jordan Brackell in the 84 who only raced 4 laps. He's the only driver with 0 incidents in this race. The next least, Ryan Gemmel with 4. There are some drivers that are getting up close to the 40 incident mark, which is, I guess that's expected based on how this race has gone.
26 cautions will do that to you.
Yeah. How about this? Eric Hutton's been out here 103 laps now without pitting. And right now that strategy paying off. But he's got to be feeling that pressure. That 36 has been on it, on these restarts. And he's got to just survive one more, no matter if they make it to the white flag or not. He's just got to be out in front by the time the yellow, the white, or the checkered falls. Well, actually, he's got to be out front when the checkered falls. The white doesn't mean much if he doesn't make it back around first after that. But he's going to have one more opportunity.
I think Ryan just pitted off of pure strategy, not needing fuel if Eric's been able to stay out this long. So he's probably biting himself in the butt right now. Not happy about that move.
Yeah, Ryan has had a couple strategy calls like that. I think he had one earlier this season where he had a shot at a win and ended up hitting late, which ultimately cost him. But here we go, stacking them up, getting ready to go for the final time tonight. Hutton, a bit of a tire spin there, but a better restart than before. Mayato trying to slot into second place. And behind them, side-by-side racing action. Mayato trying to keep up. Hutton out in front by a couple of car lengths. Could be on his way to his first victory. Yellow flag flies. That's going to be it. Eric Hutton is going to win at Martinsville in one of the most wild, caution-filled races we have ever had here on the channel. Eric Hutton able to come out on top, assuming he can make it on fuel and all of that. And it looks like he's still under power. Slowed up a bit right there, not exactly sure. And I think the caution being brought out by a car spinning on the backstretch, maybe the one of Zach Smith. But either way, checkered flag being shown, and kind of anticlimactically the 77 taking the victory. I don't even know really what to say.
I don't really know either. Like, congratulations, obviously, for Eric getting the win there. That's good momentum, but you just feel like there wasn't really a race for the win. It felt like they were there, but there just wasn't that finish that we wanted all night.
Yeah.
So a win's a win in a driver's eyes, and Eric will definitely happily take that win, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not as satisfying a victory, but yeah, a win is a win. You take him any way you can get. He does lead 45 laps after starting in 8th, and he stayed out longer than anybody there, 103 laps. And that's the strategy that paid off here at Martinsville. Hutton moving on to the next round of the playoffs. We'll be right back with the post-race interviews after a quick commercial break.
Hey, honey.
It's happening. The baby's coming.
Okay, I'm on the way.
Hey, buddy. You ready for the big game?
You're gonna be there, right, Dad?
Pal, you can count on me. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Hey, honey, Josh's flight landed early. He'll be about 6:30. Can you make it?
Okay. I'm on my way.
We've got total gridlock out there this afternoon.
The average American spends over 40 hours a year, nearly 2 full days, stuck in traffic on our broken roads and bridges, while our lives move full speed ahead. It doesn't have to be this way.
Where is he?
Husband's on his way.
It's time for Washington to get America moving again by finally funding our country's infrastructure.
Where's Mom?
Tell Washington to fund America's infrastructure, because life won't wait.
We've been waiting for this moment. Generations of innovation all coming together in one place. The pedigree of more than 70 years of NASCAR Cup Series history, from the past to the present, from Petty to Earnhardt to Elliott. Today, there's no more waiting. The future of NASCAR is now. Drive the next-gen cars today on iRacing and step into the next generation of racing.
All right, and we are back at the racetrack now. I'm going to see if we can pull up race winner Eric Hutton. And I can handle Eric. you can handle AJ, and then I'll talk to Mark after. But teammates for LDR going to be finishing on the podium here tonight. Eric Hutton, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Eric, quite a race tonight. 27 caution flags, and you won this by, I think, you had speed and you also had the strategy. 103 laps on your tires and fuel at the end, and you used it all up in the burnout most likely, but was that the call from the get-go's to try and stay up there in the front when you got it?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a strategy going in, and I think when AJ and like half the field pit, I thought that was probably the move there, and then I was going to come back in probably around 170 or so, and the amount of cautions we were getting, it just seemed like they weren't making their way through the field as well as they should have to make it worth it, and then Safe and Keith Pitt there, or Chris, whoever that was, and I thought that was moved in, but it was just caution after caution, and track position prevailed there.
Yeah, and it definitely did. You ended up leading 45 laps, and Keith gave you a run for your money on a few of those restarts. Was there some pressure on you, just getting back up to speed those few times?
Yeah, definitely. He was really timing those restarts pretty well, and a couple of times those cautions were so quick, I was worried that he might, he could dive into one really fast and get around me on the outside through the center of one, and I'd get him on the exit, and I was worried, a caution might come out with him barely in front of my nose, but he was definitely putting the pressure there, and it was really fun racing. We had that one restart where we were bouncing off each other for 5 or so laps, but it was a whole bunch of fun racing in.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the most exciting point during the entire race up there at the front. We had a green flag stretch at the beginning, but just caution filled and not really ever able to get going. But you were able to withstand the pressure, take the victory, your first of the season, and moving on to round number 3 of the playoffs. How are you feeling about capturing the victory and moving on to that round?
Yeah, definitely. I was pretty confident in making it in points, but obviously victory is just as good or better. And next round is probably gonna be pretty dicey. Kansas will probably be my strongest track there, so we'll just carry this momentum in and see how that goes.
Yeah, and that's where we're going next week. So we'll see if you can repeat and join those multi-time winners here in the league this season. But a new winner, finally. It's nice to see somebody else up here on the top, step of the podium. So congrats on the victory tonight, Eric, withstanding the pressure and weathering this chaotic race tonight. You start 8th, lead 45 laps on your way to victory. And anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just appreciate everybody in the league and all the sponsors for the league and my teammates, AJ, Lane, Lyle, Mark, Josiah, Jeremiah. Just had a fun race in a way. Obviously wish it would have gone checkered, but I think voice chat makes up for it. But I just appreciate everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Congrats on the victory. We'll catch you then.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that was race winner Eric Hutton. We're going to pull down second place finisher AJ Stravato, and Zach, you're with him.
AJ, this is Zach up in the VC booth. You got a copy with me?
Yes, sir.
Second place finish, man. That was a long race, and I could tell there's a little bit of impatience going down there on the track, and it looked like you and Keith were battling very hard for the possible win, but it looks like Eric does edge you guys out on strategy. How you feeling tonight going into the next round with a good finish and just not a win, though?
It is what it is. That was a mess of a race anyway, so I'm just kind of glad it's over with. But me and Keith got into each other a couple of times, but I think that was just hard racing. We knew if we could actually get more than 2 laps under green, we would have a shot to get Eric, but we didn't get that, so we were just kind of swapping spots back and forth and kind of traded mistakes. So I'm not mad at him. I'm sure he's not mad at me, but looking forward to the next round. Hopefully we can get a couple wins or get a win early on. like our chances at Kansas. So hopefully we can do well there.
Yeah, you're going to be going into the next round with a good bonus after winning the regular season championship in points and getting a couple wins throughout these playoffs. So you do have a good buffer. How comfortable are you with that buffer, though? Are you going to want to obviously get some wins in there, but do you think that will really help you, or are you not really too concerned about it?
I think we got a decent gap, so if we do make a mistake, we'll be okay. But obviously, you want to limit mistakes and just want to carry as much momentum going into the hopefully Final Four. But we got a tall task ahead of us. I know there's some really fast guys in the round of 8 that I'm gonna have to race in battle. So I got to make sure I'm on my A game, because say I slip up and a couple guys get a couple wins, I could be in a bad spot. So just got to keep my head down, keep doing what I've been doing all season, and hopefully we can be racing at Phoenix for a championship.
Yeah, you've been the most consistent driver all season, that's for sure. And how are you feeling about going into next week at Kansas?
Kansas is we had some pretty good luck in VRL. We actually got a win over there by a pretty good margin. Just got to make sure we're out there and clean air at the beginning. Restart should be fun. I'm looking forward to the challenge and just getting some green flag laps in. Honestly, looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll be looking for some green flag runs next week, and great finish, second place, nothing to look over, and definitely carry that momentum up into the next round of 8. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we call it a night here with you?
Nah, just my teammates, obviously. Shout out to Eric for winning. I know you're just starting off, man. You're my dog. I'm glad to see you enjoying it, doing well. Adam, obviously, you do a great job as well. And just all the league sponsors and all the admins that make it possible. This league's a lot of fun. So I look forward to it on Thursdays. This week, not so much with the cautions, but, I'm looking forward to next week.
Well, AJ, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to come and do an interview with us, and we look forward to seeing how you do the rest of the playoffs.
Appreciate you, man. Talk to you soon.
Great job
Have
there,
a good
AJ.
one.
Thank you.
All right, that was second place finisher AJ Stravato, and we're trying to find Mark Emerson, see if we can pull him down here. There he is. All right, Mark Emerson, Adam of the V-Speed booth, you got a copy.
I got you.
Well, Mark, a bit of a roller coaster race for everyone, but I think your roller coaster kind of went the highest of anybody, up and downs all race long. You end up here on the podium. Did you think you were going to be back up here by the end of the race tonight?
I was 4th.
Oh, you were?
Keith got a black flag after the checkered flag, so it put him down, but he was 3rd. Or he was 2nd, I think.
Okay, I am so mistaken. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was 4th. I was like, oh, hi guys.
Yeah,
I was not expecting to be in here.
It is showing 3rd on my timing and scoring, but
I'll still talk.
Well, just great recovery, man. We saw a couple incidents with you throughout the race, but
yeah,
able to recover through that. So anybody you want to give a quick shout out to?
To everybody that didn't murder me that race, and I apologize to the one person that I did commit a genocide on. Didn't mean it. I've already told him sorry. And yeah, well, I mean, it was a pretty rough race for all around. So not too many people to thank or be mad at.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. But good recovery there, Mark. I think you may be advancing to the next round. We've got to wait for points.
I hope so.
Got to wait for points to shuffle out. But
yep.
Good recovery, man.
Thank you.
All right, that was Mark Emerson. Mistakenly brought him down here. I thought he was 3rd.
He did finish 3rd on the final standings, but apparently not.
Yeah, we'll pull Keith in real quick here. Keith Maotto, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
4.
Well, Keith, I think our timing and scoring is a little bit messed up, but according to Mark, you finished up there on the podium. Don't know where you were officially scored, but man, what a crazy race tonight. You start on pole, you lead the whole first stage, and then it just did not go your way from there. Just give us a rundown of how you feel you did recovering and getting back up through things.
Yeah, it started off pretty good, being up front and not getting into trouble. And then I think after the first stage, I placed, behind a few cars that pitted before the stage end, and I pretty much changed the rest of the race. And it's tough, right? It's tough just to get back up there. The outside groove barely works. if any, unless you have newer tires than your competitor. But it wasn't that much fun. You know what I mean? With all the cautions and even towards the end, like I knew I could get Hunt, but there was just never. There wasn't more than 5 laps in that run towards the end there.
Yeah, you had a couple great restarts, and it looked like you might be able to edge him out if a yellow flag was to fly, but didn't fall at the right time. Just, was that your goal there? Just really just get the nose out in front? Was that all you were hoping for?
I was hoping, yeah, on that last few restarts, I was hoping to get that nose there. And actually, before that last caution came out, I was ready to just roll it into his bumper, and the caution came out right in the middle of the corner. I was like, well, there goes that chance.
Yeah, so close so many times tonight, and you were on the roller coaster that everybody else was. It seemed like coming and going throughout the night, but you end up back here on the podium. You were already guaranteed into next round at Kansas. Is the first race of the next round. What are your thoughts on going out there, and you think you can carry the momentum from so far in the playoffs through that race?
I'm hoping so. I know AJ and myself, the winning streak is done. We stopped alternating wins, but it should be crazy from what we've seen in other online races and the 3 wides. It could be hectic, but it should be fun. And hopefully, right now with all the bonus points, it's just consistency to make it onto the next round.
Yes, sir, and hopefully not another race of attrition like this one. I think it should be a bit cleaner next week, so we'll hope for that. See if you can bounce back, get another race win. Already 4 wins this season. We'll see if you can get another one, but end up on the podium here, leading 51 laps after starting on the pole. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Lazy Dayz Racing for sponsoring the race tonight. All of our sponsors, everyone at Below the Double Yellow, yourself and Zach being there in the broadcast tonight. We're just doing a great job.
Awesome, Keith. Well, congrats on a podium and talking with us here after the race, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks, Keith.
No problem. Take care, guys.
You too.
All right, and that is Keith Mayato. Finishes up on the podium here tonight, and let's go through the rest of the results. I don't know if you still have them up there, Zach, but we can kind of go through the alternating 10s.
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, so we'll pull them up here. 27 cautions. Not much else to say other than that for tonight's race. Only 5 lead changes at the front. Eric Hutton in the right spot at the right time ends up taking home this victory with a good strategy there. He'll win tonight's race. AJ Stravato finishes second. I believe it's going to be Keith Mayato third. Mark Emerson fourth. Chris Simard fifth. Josiah Vincent sixth. Ryan Gemmel seventh. Justin Carey eighth. Nick Gardner ninth. Alan Dice 10th. Dallas Sullivan, I believe, will be the 11th place driver, so you can start from there.
Yeah, and it looks like 12th place will be Jeremiah Vincent, 13th will be Dennis Steele, 14th Dennis Faircloth, 15th Safe Ferris, 16th Timmy Emmanuel, 17th Johnny Means, 18th Lane Selfridge, 19th his brother Lyle Selfridge, 20th Zach Smiths. I apologize, the results are a little mixed up here.
Yep.
And 22nd Nick Starling, 23rd Jordan Shepler, 24th Kyle Payne, 25th Nathaniel Ostrowski, 26th Cody Atkins, 27th Seth Hatchell, and 28th Jordan Brockle.
Yep. And yeah, those results are going to take some filtering through, I think, by the admins here tonight. But the race, it kind of sums it all up, I think, here tonight. A very messy run by these guys. Eric Hutton, though, capturing his first victory of the season, which I'm sure is totally stoked about to finally capture one. And it's an interesting fashion here tonight, but a win is a win. And he'll carry that forward into round number 3 of the playoffs. Yeah, Zach, any final closing comments?
I'm happy to be a part of the broadcasting team. Thank you for having me out here. Not an ideal race to start off on, but it was interesting nonetheless, and definitely had fun talking to you throughout the night and the viewers as well. So thank you again, and maybe some future broadcasts as well.
Yeah, I think this was kind of the gauntlet to go through for a first time appearance. But I do want to thank you so much for being in the booth with me and keeping things a bit more interesting up here than they definitely otherwise would have been. So thank you for jumping in here and doing that. Yeah, so next week actually we're switching over to the YouTube and Facebook broadcasts exclusively. We will not be streaming broadcasts here on Twitch. Except for, in-car camera stuff and some other, sim racing content. But you can catch us over on the YouTube channel as well as our Facebook channel or Facebook page. You can see those links up on the screen right now. And I want to thank all those that followed tonight. David Campbell Jr. was one of the recent ones an hour ago. And then Bon Bon John just followed as well. Thank you guys. But we will be switching over to YouTube and Facebook. You can check us out throughout the week on Twitter and Facebook for race announcements. And we do appreciate all of you tuning in here tonight for the Lazy Dayz 200 at Martinsville. And we're going to wrap up tonight's broadcast by jumping in with another channel tonight. We're going to join Bottom Split and kind of carry over the content that you've already maybe been seeing here tonight. Not the cleanest race from these guys, but looking forward to great ones coming up next week. Again, YouTube and Facebook is where we'll be moving, so keep an eye out for those announcements. Thank you so much, and have a great night.